Oh. Did it come through the speaker?
Not yet. I don't see the green. It's plugged in. That's not all plugged in. Hang on, the hamsters in the wheels here. Those are yours.
Okay.
It's green.
Okay.
We have captions?
You want everything, don't you?
I do. I'm so demanding.
Okay, we're good, go.
Okay, I make a motion, we open the meeting.
Second?
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Poe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, is there any board member with a conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding the items on the agenda this evening?
I have none.
I have not.
I do not. I didn't.
I do not. Okay, with that being said, would the clerk please read the open meeting compliance certification or clip notes?
Yep, if you're in the room, please give your name and address unless there's a reason according to law. If you're on Zoom, please raise your hand if you wish to speak directly to the board. If you would wish for me to speak to the board, please put it in the Q&A. I do not respond to questions or anything in chat. And then I just ask that we all have a nice, quiet, easy meeting. Sorry.
Okay.
We should have no more.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You're set?
sure.
Okay, with that being said, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I'm asking Trustee Limbeck to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. We'll open with public comment. Anybody wishing? Yeah.
Hello, Andrew Todd at 18 Issue Terrace. Just as a quick starter, thank you so much for moving the meeting time to 6 o'clock. This is much easier for myself to attend. I would like a crosswalk. I live at Issue Terrace, as I said before, and when my wife and I and our 3.5-year-old come to the village, we go north up Issue Terrace, and then we hit Elmbrook, either go right to get pick up south or go left to pick up right, depending on where we're going. It's a beautiful walk. There's beautiful mature trees, tons of shade. We rather mark on how wonderful it is to live in the village and how lucky we are. And then we have to cross the street. We don't know how to safely do it. Well, it is easy to kind of make a circuitous little route across the street. There's always the danger of a car that's not familiar with that intersection, having an awkward dance and trying to get around it. And it would be great if there could be some sort of painted crosswalk for pedestrians to safely cross that street. I also know that working in commercial real estate, simply painting the road is not as easy as it sounds, and there's a long bureaucratic process that goes with it. So, while I would certainly love a crosswalk, I know it'll take some time, but I just want to say, what happens next?
Oh, okay. Thank you. And I know Trustee Wilkes is highly interested in this as well.
Highly invested.
Yes, as we all are, because there's so many great new young families that are all along that whole area and also in other parts of our village, but it's a concern, and as you know, it's a state road. So there is a process, but I would think what we probably should do is get a neighborhood meeting. I'm thinking of a petition. We've spoken about that.
Yeah, and you're talking about going into the village, right?
Yes.
You're not
Yeah.
talking,
The T intersection of Elmbrook and Issue Terrace.
okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
And, you know, so there are some options. We also have an active transportation plan that we should probably, you know, pull out. Let's take a look. I actually was thinking, I brought this up a while back with the board, that we should take a look at it again and see if there's other areas, you know, such as this, that really need to be addressed. You know, it's a tough road because to me, it's not just a crosswalk. It's cars coming in the village entering at 40 miles an hour, where that speed limit is on the town side. You know,
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
we're,
he's talking about something else.
yeah,
We're
it's
not talking about Jefferson Road.
not talking about.
oh, I'm sorry.
he's
I thought you were
got-
saying Jeff.
Yeah, I thought that too, but then you clarified Elmbrook and
Oh,
Eastern Terrace,
Elmbrook. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got you. At Elmbrook.
which is a village road.
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha,
It's
gotcha.
this
So we're
weird kind of
good.
like triangle.
Yeah, right there. Now I'm with you. Okay, so.
Yeah, I would assume it's
Mhm.
relatively easy because it all is jurisdiction, but there's still.
Yeah, there's still some moving parts. We would definitely have to speak with the neighbors, I think, and maybe, I don't know, then we don't need a petition because it's not a state road.
That's for there.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. Oh, we have a little earth
Right.
view here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think a couple of those
Mhm.
houses recently sold.
Yeah, I know the green, I think it's for Elmbrook, they.
Right.
It's done some extensive work, but yeah, recently.
And there was a stop sign put there not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that at least helped.
No, it's.
But we really should revisit it and talk to the neighbors and let's sort out
Yeah,
what
I
would be
know
best.
at night, coming through there, if I come back from Thirsty or something like that, it's darker, it's harder for people to see pedestrians crossing the street, so just having a clearly defined area. For cars to watch out for.
Yeah,
pedestrians to kind of show.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And also, the other thing, and this was a discussion we had a while back with our DPW. Because we have a dark sky ordinance, so our lights are, not super bright. Which is nice, because, you protect habitats and all of that, and there's not a lot of light pollution. But it's been brought to our attention that there have been, residents, walking on sidewalks, they can't quite see sometimes at night in certain spots, and there's, certain distances along lights. I know along Jefferson Road, that's been an issue. A thought that I had, and I saw it in a couple other communities, because we have the power going into the light pole, if we could tap into that and put a wash of low level lighting across the sidewalk in certain areas.
Yeah.
That also may be beneficial, and also it's another cue for drivers, when they're going down a dark street at night, that it's lit and there's, people there. So I think it's multifactorial, Yeah. So thank you for bringing it up, and,
Okay.
so the next steps are really what we need to do internally and how we move that forward.
Don't you worry.
David's on it. David's
David,
on
you're
it.
taking that project, Dave?
Taking it on.
He's on
Alright.
it. He's on it, man.
Okay.
He's on it. So, really appreciate that, because I understand the concerns.
Yeah, and this is obviously the busy time for everyone to be walking,
See,
not tonight, but.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's busy.
maybe it's 6 tomorrow morning. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that. Yes, Buff.
Robert, 47 Washington.
Mhm.
That intersection has been studied twice.
Mhm.
Once when Dan Burton, a nationally recognized traffic counting expert, came here to Pittsburgh. And again with Steve Ferranti, a local traffic engineer. And previously, it had been striped. So there was a lot of excess pavement in that intersection, which makes people kind of fly through it, and it's why it's so dangerous. And so in addition to the crosswalk previously, the lanes have been striped and to get it down to a 19 or 20 foot width for the traffic lanes. To sort of give the driver the visual cue, number one, like a stop sign there and to slow down. So I would recommend not only putting in a crosswalk, but restoring it, and there's a plan, it should be in the archives, of the extra striping that used to be there,
Mhm.
that just hasn't been
It's,
maintained.
yeah, it's a little bit worn at this point, I think some of the rainfalls are really.
It needs to be renewed.
Yeah.
The other thing I would also suggest, another area.
It's on the DPW schedule, I believe, to take a look at that. Yeah.
But the other thing that in the past, we had striped the parking lots on South Main Street. And I walk that road frequently with my dog, and because of the loss of parking on the west side, it's a huge difference in experience, especially if you're walking on the west side of the street. So number one, again, I urge the board to start working on a plan to reclaim the parking that was lost.
Mhm.
And number two, to consider putting the parking boxes back in there, because they are a visual cue. Different studies have indicated they do slow cars down, and they also increase safety because people tend less to park in front of that.
Thank you so much for your input. I think this came up at another couple of meetings, and when NISTOC came through 4 years ago, we're speaking now about South Main Street, particularly the stretch pretty much from St. Louis Church, on the other side down to the Jefferson Road intersection. It's a New York State road, and they wanted to remove parking on both sides. And we at least got the parking on most of it on the St. Louis side, but the nature of that road is the road narrows when you go down from St. Louis to Jefferson Road. So what NICEDOT did was they literally repainted and moved the center line. So they changed, where they changed the center line, it narrowed the side on Stone Gate, which meant you couldn't park there safely as you move down that street. So the request would be to NICEDOT, and I know, Dave, you brought this up as well. We can give you the information you'd like to follow up, is to go back to NICEDOT and say, can you move the stripe back, change the center line again, and put back some of that parking? We tried to put back as much as we could safely.
This one's a good.
You know, excuse me one second. So, again, you know, there's always moving parts, but if you want to take a look at it, more than happy to circle back on that. Absolutely, 100%, because parking is traffic calming. I think everybody's aware of that, certainly in this room, and having worked on the active transportation planning for town and village, you know, we're keenly aware of that. And again, traffic calming isn't one thing, it's many things. It's multifactorial, so.
So the rest of my comment was.
Yeah.
I've measured it through, and it's more than enough room all the way down. They
Mhm.
have 11 foot, which is more than is required for the traffic lane and an 8 foot. So there's plenty of room to have the parking there. The other thing is I want to remind the board, the reason we passed the complete streets ordinance in 2011 is because that the New York State enabling legislation gives the village say over DOT of how you want your streets to be.
Mhm.
So technically, you have, obviously, you want to
Mhm.
arm yourself with a plan, a strategic plan by a traffic engineer, but you have the ability to dictate how that's to be used.
Thank you so much for your input, and we're gonna follow up. Trustee Wilkes will definitely be following it, but I think, you know, I think the whole board, I think we all want everybody to be safe.
So Dave, are you
You know,
gonna take that
have
on too?
safety.
Dave Wilkes, are you gonna take on the South Main Street parking, or is
Oh, I know David Marshall is
Dave Marshall?
interested in that.
Dave, do you want to try to lead that so that we make sure that we have somebody who's, okay?
There's an action item. Okay, so moving on to the first agenda item. Friends of the art, yep. Oh, Scott.
Do you want to do Scott?
Yeah, I'm so, you know what, before we get into the actual agenda items, we do have our village engineer online. And Dorothea, do you want to just set it up before we bring Scott on? Scott, thanks for joining in, by the way.
Let me release him.
Yeah, release him to the universe here.
Okay, Scott, you should be able to talk.
Okay, I unmuted myself.
Okay.
There you go.
Wednesday, we had I guess they call it a microburst, the storm that came through. So in the afternoon, I was alerted to some flooding in the basement. So when I went down, it was a lot of flooding in the basement. It wasn't, typically we have seen one area in the basement we've had an issue with. It's by the door where you come, everybody knows where the front steps, there's a little walkway down, there's a drain there. In the past, that has backed up. It
Out
wasn't
here, you mean the
limited-
front stairwell?
Yes,
Okay.
it wasn't limited to there this time. It came in one of the window wells in the American Legion off post.
Mhm.
Okay, and flooded through there. There was water in the back hall from, I don't know what to call that, Scott, an exhaust pipe or something. And it's just little puddles all over.
Mhm.
So we immediately had DPW come up. We started trying to suck up the water as fast as it was coming in. That was pointless. But we did our best to manage the situation. I contacted Scott. Scott contacted Jennifer Aarons with Barrow, who has been the historic architect for the building. So Scott came in, reviewed the situation with me on Thursday last week. And he came in yesterday and met with Jen, and we went through the whole building about the issue. So I'm gonna turn it over to Scott, because
Before we turn it over to Scott, I really want to thank you and all the staff in DPW. Everybody came in, you know, Village Hall was closed on that day. It was Juneteenth, it was a holiday, and really taking care of our building. Thank you. And thanks to Scott and Jen as well.
what we're here to do.
Well, appreciate it. It made a difference. Yeah. So, hi, Scott.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, great. How you doing?
Is he not coming through?
Is he coming through?
Little.
A little bit, a little quiet.
Can you hear me okay? Hello?
No, we hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
There we are.
now we really hear you.
now you really hear me. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I met Dorothea out there and then at first, and then I met up with Jennifer, because she has a lot of the mapping around Village Hall. And I think what's pretty evident is, well, a number of things. First of all, that was a very significant storm. I guess we haven't had one like that on this month of June since 1905. It was 3.1 inches according to the National Weather Service. And there were a lot of other people I work with who were flooded out as well. But relative to the Village Hall, it seems like the window wells that you have that surround the building are really good candidates for allowing water intrusion under a storm of that magnitude. And I don't believe there's any drain system within the window wells. So when the water's coming down so rapidly, they tend to fill versus infiltrating through the soil, as I think they normally do. And hence water comes in through the windows. I think we saw that in multiple locations. And then you have a couple of steps that go down to the lower basement level with a drain at the bottom of those steps. It's unclear as to whether those drains are working properly and whether they're connected into the sump pump so that water coming down those areas can be controlled. Evidently, the sump pump was off during the flood event, so we don't know what the sump pump would have done to benefit things under the situation, but presumably it would have done something positive. I think the best approach to take is to define the areas where the failures occurred, do some investigating using a contractor, and come up with a way in which we can drain the window wells and pick up as much drainage around the building we can, so we don't have to do this again with the next large storm that comes through.
Yeah, I mean, clearly have to do. So I know we're working, Mason Trenching is working with us now on the DPW facility.
Right.
So it may, as a practical matter, and also they've done a lot of work with us to bring them in as well to help us with this assessment and what's required. Would that be enough?
Yes. Yes, I contacted Craig Prince,
Yeah.
who indicated that in his files, he had record of improvements that he did at Village Hall, connections to downspouts and also a storm lateral out to the street to which they are connected. So I think pulling together his information from Jen, and investigating the system around the building, we can come up with a good solution.
So really, that's part of next steps is looking at what's been done, getting him out here to look at the current situation and understanding what has happened. I mean, it's an emergency situation where, aren't we scheduled for more rain later this week? I think.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be of that magnitude, but
well, the ground's been saturated as well, so maybe there's been a little drying out with the heat, I guess, but with climate change, you're getting more extreme events.
The other part of it, and Scott, from Jennifer Aaron's looked at the metal windows.
Oh, yeah.
The one especially over here is degraded.
The one in the Legion, the main room.
The first window in the main room.
Okay.
There's a gap that also allows water in.
Oof.
So, and a lot of those windows are older and are compromised and should be looked to be replaced. Now, the question I have for the board, because the windows, they're in the window wells, they're not inside. So how do we want to handle that? Should this go in front of HPD? I mean, again, I'm concerned, especially with this window, we're trying to block as much as we can from coming in.
And Jen's recommending that the windows be replaced.
Yes.
With something that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I would think we would want them to I mean, it's an iconic building. It's an historic building and it's an asset.
And there's no opportunity for restoration or repairing those windows there?
Can't speak to it. Some of the metal is rusted out.
I don't know that
Scott, I think Jen jumped into the well.
I don't know that they're original to the building. And Jen
I'm not sure from what I saw. I mean, I did see that they weren't in particularly good shape.
Yeah, I think we need to follow up more thoroughly with Jen.
And see if they can be.
Mhm.
or anything.
Well, they may not be original to the building, and so there may, I think she can help us with that assessment and evaluation of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, it should be appropriate for the building,
So
so.
going back to Dorothea's question, is this something that the HPP should be involved in? I mean, do we let them kind of deal with it?
No, but the problem I have is, first off, we're under an emergency situation.
Yeah.
Because we have an active problem, and I already have them at the Legion out of there.
Yeah, they
had
had
damage to their
Canceled
equipment.
events.
I have canceled events. I have them pulled away all their material from the window wells in their area, because I don't know how much we're gonna find when we have Frank Prince go through and find out. So I have them out of their hall.
Right.
So we need to act quite quickly, because I don't want any more damage. And the problem we have is these window wells go all the way around the building.
Mhm.
And we have them, they go right into where our HVAC is, all our electronics, and that window does not look good as well. So I don't want us to not take care of this situation, and it escalates even beyond where we're at.
So your biggest issue is the potential delay.
Any
So
delay.
So is there a way that we could have a special meeting?
That is something I'd have to reach out and see if the HPV can put it together. I mean, I'm not against the HPV weighing in.
It's just the
I
timing of
just wanna
everything.
move this along,
Yeah.
because I don't want any more damage to the hall. That's my concern.
Yeah, you don't want the foundation compromised or anything. But we secured the window wells for now.
No, I wouldn't say we've secured the window wells. We have
Where are we?
keys of port.
Well, I know,
Over this one. The rest are not secured.
okay, so I think really in terms of the immediate next step is have Jen make the recommendation. What would that look like if we do replace the windows? Is it in kind? What does that look like? Let's alert the HPB that this has happened and that, Alexander
to
can
talk
reach
to them.
out. Yep, and see if they can put together, based on Jen's recommendation. I would also think that Jen should be at that meeting or zooming in
Mhm.
to work through this with the board, so we're acting in a timely manner. I'm thinking even if we can turn this around real quick,
Mhm.
you
And
know.
then if I can see if DPW can find a way to
Mhm. We
protect
need-
all the window wells.
Yeah, at least just now, so we're not letting any more water intrude.
Scott, do you think you can help instruct DPW on how to do that?
Yeah, I'm thinking that because we need some time to really analyze what we got going on there, that we could temporarily put, for example, plywood over these openings so that if we have a storm like what we had recently, it would shed off versus going inside there. And also make some grading adjustments around the window wells so that the water is not aimed right at going in there. We can deflect it a little bit.
Yeah, that's something that I think DPW could help
Yeah.
with.
Also, the drain up front. I mean, is there any way to take a look into that? See if they can
Well,
clean it
I
out?
did have
Mhm.
PP plumbing out on
Okay.
Thursday. They did look at the drain.
Mhm.
It didn't need to be snaked. It was actually
It was
clear. It was clear. I think if the sump pump was on, it would have helped, but I don't
On
think
that
it
side, it
was.
would have
I don't think it, I think, and I'm speaking with both sides. The debris, because of the storm that flushed, because we need to grade over there,
Mhm.
flushed into that drain, blocked it completely, that the water, and if you take a stop and look on your way out tonight, you'll see there's a high water mark.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have gone down. So even when DPW was trying to move it out, it just was a bad scenario. And maybe that's a one-off, but we should resolve the whole situation. And I think, Scott, we talked that was more of a grading issue over there.
Well, yeah, there are multiple issues. There's, there's site grading around there. Some of the grading directs water towards the building, which isn't a good thing.
Nope.
Some of the window wells are elevated above the ground, so they don't necessarily attract the water quite so much as some of the other ones. But it's kind of going to be a comprehensive fix. And I think if you try to rush and get it done quickly, you may not catch all the things that you want to catch, which is why I would recommend some level of protection in between.
Sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were done. I think there's a short term and a long term,
Mhm.
where we are. So I think we're realizing that the short term certainly is the immediate securing. Steve, do you have any other thoughts on that? You know, we're thinking,
I'm curious about, because those windows aren't visible at all. They're down inside a grate.
Mhm.
So I'm curious of why we need to address HPV to do a fix. And my other thing is they don't serve purpose, they don't do anything.
well, they're,
You know what I mean, put a cap on
Mhm.
them and be done with it, it solves the
put a
problem.
cap on what?
Window well,
The actual, well, it changes, I don't know.
you know what I mean, they don't serve a purpose, there's no light, the one, especially one over here, is blocked off in the basement, so it's got plywood on the front of
On the, in their room,
it, yeah. in the front.
yes, something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the exterior of the building has a certain look with that.
But they're underneath the grate, but what I'm saying, you don't. see the-
I understand that. I still think we need to have Barrow weigh in on that. You know. I appreciate that, but I think, you know, again, let's see what we can do to immediately secure it. Everybody,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You know.
I feel like Village Hall is a little special in the sense of,
Mhm.
you know, to the extent we can keep this as historically accurate as possible. I think it doesn't, especially again, we don't wanna rush this. If we're gonna do a comprehensive adjustment, you know, spend the money, you might as well do the full assessment. Give
exactly.
HPP the heads up, let them be able to weigh in and say, hey, you know, does this make sense or not? It gives input to
Yeah.
us and then we can,
Do it once, do it right.
Yeah, so we'll temporarily secure it, so it's
Yes.
secure, just like, you know, our
No, I'm
baluster
good
out
with
there
that.
been sitting there forever. So we'll sit there until we have a good comprehensive evaluation of what we're gonna do.
But everybody's good with having Fred Prince come in and evaluate the
Oh,
foundation.
yeah.
and
We have
all this
to.
Yeah, we
stuff and
need
the
it.
drainage.
Yeah.
And we
He knows the building.
We need to do a plan
Yeah.
and get the grading at least
Mhm.
fixed, so we aren't encouraging any more water infiltration.
And circle back with Jen about
Circle and
what that would look
on
like.
the actual window wells
Mhm.
and the
Give
restoration.
give HPP a heads up. just so they have
Yeah,
it.
okay, so we have the action items.
Okay.
All right,
Scott, does that sound like the way to go here? Any other thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I think that is the way to go, and then I think everybody will have their say in the final product. So that'll be
Okay.
good.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to, you know, Zoom on or phone in here and
Sure,
kind of give us the heads up. And, you know, thanks also for the quick response from you as well. Really
yep,
appreciate.
sure.
while we have Scott here real quick.
Oh, don't go away, Scott.
Scott brought to me agenda item 10, the authorization for the permit to be signed for the water service. So if we can handle that while he's here, if you have any questions on that, just
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
can release him to the world.
This is the permit application, you know, for the Canal Authority for the water service. This is regarding the project down at DPW.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, in speaking with Kevin at the Canal Corp, he suggested that, well, when he took a look at the project, he noted that we're really only going through canal lands with the water service, and that the building is, you know, within the Village of Pittsford property by about an inch or so. But so he recommended doing, I guess, what you would call kind of a narrow permit there, which is what you see, and that kind of goes along with the seeker determination, which was a type 2, which is just a very minor impact, or no impact, I should say. So the purpose of this is to get through the next step with the Canal Corp, because they have to issue us a permit, and you may or may not be interested to know that they are requiring the contractor and all of his employees who are working on the project to have 10 hours of OSHA training verified through a certification that has to be submitted along with this permit.
Yeah, that's a new requirement, isn't it?
Well, it's as far as I know, it's kind of new. I understand where they're coming from, and they're also requiring the contractor to submit a health and safety plan that goes along with that. So I've been working with the contractor in developing that.
All right.
Didn't
So we-
didn't quite think that it was going to go quite this far in terms of complicating
Well,
the canal permit, which nothing surprises me much anymore. So
so the action item is, we need to have this signed. The board would make a motion. Who signs it, me or Dorothea? Me?
I think I'm on.
yeah.
Okay, you're on the permit? Okay. to have Dorothea sign so we can move forward essentially with this particular project.
Yep,
I can make a motion to authorize Dorothea to sign the permit application with the Canal Authority for the water service installation.
My second,
Well, no, I just have a question.
Okay, okay,
discussion.
there was a second and we'll bring it back for discussion.
The only thing I want to make sure, Dorothea, I know with IT, it has the village of Pittsburgh.com. I just want to make sure.
I'll make sure that's
Right,
correct.
oh, good one, good catch.
It, reality is, it all should be
It all-
forwarding to my new email,
Mhm.
but
Okay,
just let's
yeah.
not check the fakes
Exactly.
anymore,
Yeah.
then we all.
Okay. That was it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Lindbeck,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion passes. Thank you.
Okay.
Your question.
Oh, hang on, Scott, we're still not letting you go.
okay,
Marshall has a question for you.
okay,
Hi, Scott.
hi,
So the traffic coming down Sutherland and on Main was pretty busy this weekend because of, I think there's an event going on, or maybe it's just traffic on 490, but it got me thinking as I'm coming down Sutherland, trying to turn left to go over to, Wegmans essentially.
Mhm.
It reminded me that there's a median that's getting put in there for 75 Monroe. Do you know when that median is required relative to the development?
I don't know when it's tentatively scheduled, that kind of falls into the realm of the DOT, because they're the ones that permitted it. I don't know when it is, I don't know when it is scheduled, but I do know that it was part of their approval.
Is this something that has to be in before 75 Monroe is open for business? Obviously traffic will pick up once people start staying there. I don't know what the,
Yeah, that's a good question, and I can't say that I know the answer off the top of my head, but I'll be happy to check into it for you.
And another thing, Scott, the Monroe, the bridge there may be scheduled for a major repair the way we've had the other two. Yeah. They deferred it because of the PTA. So we need to circle back and find out where we are back on their schedule.
Okay.
Because I think that they would want to do the bridge and then the meeting, like it's a whole.
I'm
Moving.
surprised they're letting the median be built on the bridge.
Yeah.
The median is before the bridge as you come up
Right.
to the bridge, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, from the town side, but we may want to circle back on that and see.
Did they say how long it was going to take?
No, I mean, we don't have that type of information at this point. I think Scott's right, it would be really a discussion with NISTOD. Yeah,
I can check in with the people that I have been
That'd be
speaking with
great.
lately and find out an answer to that question. I mean, it's a good question.
And you-
I,
any question too?
Yeah.
And the question is to ask them when the median's gonna be.
Yeah, what's going on with that and the bridge repair
Yeah.
on Monroe Ave, yeah.
I can follow.
Okay, thanks, okay, that's an action item.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
are we really gonna let Scott go this time?
Yeah.
No.
Thanks so much, Scott, appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.
see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Dorothea, real quick, how many do we have online?
Right now, well, Scott just clocked off, so 5.
Okay, so next up, we have Friends of the Arboretum. Hello, hello.
You got it. Mike 11 East Jefferson Circle and Rob 47 Washington Avenue. Rob passed on some papers. Just want to do a quick follow-up on the donation approval on the white oak tree for the Arboretum. If you haven't been through there last week, if you did a plan last weekend, and your photo pack, that's the very first picture. In the meantime, first item that we got on our agenda is that the large section of walnut tree had been found in the Arboretum. And Creative Thoughts got together, someone took it home, started to finish it and work a absolutely big to it. That was Tom Schaefer, that they would like to donate that bench, which you'll see in the one photo, to have a placement that we're recommending at the Meadow and South Trail intersection, so we'd be looking for your approval to allow that to happen.
But is there a picture of the bench or anything?
Yeah.
Is it where
Right
my,
there.
It's right there.
oh, I'm looking at, I'm looking on the other side.
And
Yep, got it.
then there is, sorry, it's not a postage size, but a map of the Arboretum where we're
Yeah.
kind of showing a dot line and a red line.
And the bench is massive, it's heavy enough that it really takes two people to move it. So we thought by putting it in the middle of the arboretum, it's less likely to walk. It's the picture that's taken, it's in Dave Jewett's, which.
And hopefully a high wind won't tip it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that heavy.
So this was reclaimed walnut.
It's a
It
relay,
was,
it's a wall.
it was, suddenly was there, we put it up in the big rock by the entry and tried to figure a way to make it sit so someone could sit on it, because it was very inviting. And next thing you know, the board was gone, but that explained where it went.
It was liberated
Yes. Okay, cool.
from public land. Okay. Yeah.
So any comment back, thoughts on?
It's great, both of them.
Good use of,
it? Okay.
Recycle.
Yeah.
We love recycling.
Next one is we have a restatement that,
Yeah, hang on one second, please. We have trustee Lindbeck. Yeah,
Do we need a motion to approve the placement of the bench?
we certainly would.
We want to do it
Yeah. take a motion.
at the end or?
Well, I think, let's move, let's keep going and make motions as needed and figure out business.
Make a motion to approve the bench as indicated on the sheet.
I second.
Do you want to say also, as indicate, you said it is indicated on the map?
Yeah.
As well, okay.
Okay, trustee Lindbeck,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi.
Motion passes.
next
Okay.
item is just a reminder that the gravel pile that's back by one of the new ponds still needs to be relocated, and I know Margot, for the front house had also requested. And it looks like a appropriate place to put it is where all the mud ruts are on the path
Mhm.
that's out in the meadow area.
It's
So
a
that-
lot, it's a wet area, so this would make the path.
So that doesn't really require any kind of motion, just a reminder back to your DPW if you would. And
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of rain and so they're not comfortable going back in with equipment. I don't think it's anything more than that.
yeah.
And the fact that we're in a little bit of transition there with new
Yeah.
people and stuff. So I think it's it's in the hopper, as they say.
Yeah. And-
Mayor
and-
Plummer, I can't confirm that they.
Yeah.
They informed me they couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's been pretty.
And
pretty bad
then
back there.
there's some additional piles
Mhm,
that were left around the other one on backfilling stuff. that
Mhm.
just needs
Again,
to
the
be
same
smoothed out, so-
Issues, I think, apply.
A work product.
Mhm.
We certainly can, I understand, take away the poison hemlock item that we had identified the other day. We understand, Mayor, you've already responded to this and have some
Mhm.
action taken on it.
Yeah, I do want to just interject here that and we are, thank you for your diligence in identifying something that was highly toxic and invasive in the Arboretum. Rather than try to agenda an item like that, because the nature of the circumstance and public safety, it's the recommendation, and I hope anybody listening, if you do see something like this in the village, not even in the Arboretum, call Village Hall immediately. We need to take care of it for public safety. Right now, we're cordoning off that area. We, have the company working on the Atlantis, looking at this as well. No one should be touching that. It's highly toxic. So, rather than putting it on an agenda where there's a longer extended time frame, I think there's more of a sense of urgency. So just give us a call. Let us know. Give us a heads up.
But the other part of that discussion is there was no poison hemlock last year, and
Mhm,
one of the problems with RG&E's practice is they came through
mhm,
and they slashed and they dropped and they didn't remove.
mhm.
And I think, that's how invasives come. Their
Mhm.
equipment tends to hold fragments and they spread. And they, Jim has noticed the same thing along the Niagara wall.
Mhm.
The solution to that
Mhm, mhm.
is, and I talked to Bill Smith about this
Mhm.
also, is to eventually, I think we need to grade
grade that RG&E right away, so it's at least mowable and we can maintain as a grass border. Eventually, it could be planted as a pollinator border, but at least it would stop the cycle, because what happens is every 5 years, RG&E comes through, drops the
Understood.
stuff, and we get more
And
invasive.
we're also gonna be reaching out to RG&E to see if they can help with remediation on
Thank
this,
you
because
for
this is something that they created.
Yeah.
And also, it was the recommendation of the wetland biologist when the vernal ponds went in to make that actually an upland pollinator corridor, because when things hatch out of the vernal ponds, they need to have a habitat, and it's a perfect area for it. And we already know RG&E is gonna come through at some point and mow it down, and that way, kind of no harm, no foul. You know, they're not taking out trees, and hopefully, you know, the pollinators will just come back, so.
Lori Dracolo, who I took
Mhm.
through,
Yep,
she did the pollinator meadow at the Tinker Park, she
Yep.
said the same thing.
Yep.
So.
yep, no, Lori, yeah, great.
All right,
Good
so
report.
the final item we bring up, and we find it hard to believe that Friends of Arboretum have been around for 3 years at this point, and it feels more like 5.
Yeah.
In your meeting packets and now in the print format that Robert handed out, you have a record of our organization, its contributions to the Arboretum over those 3 years. The initial startup saw 100 members joining our group, comprised mostly of residents interested in the welfare of the new village park. They were mobilized on 7 occasions in the first 6 months to maintain 120 trees and 50 bushes planted the previous year, which was 2021. This work has continued to as recent as this past week, provided approximately 75% survival rate of the initial plantings. Without this effort, the survival rate may have been less than 25%. Many other tasks would have also been undertaken during this initial working season. As documented in that volunteer efforts report, the board of the Friends of the Arboretum has collaborated with many organizations and individuals to foster improvements and ideas for the Arboretum's development and use. To our common cause, we have partnered with horticultural experts, scout troops, the Frog House, Pittsburgh Garden Club, Nazareth College, and many others. Tasks and planning have included here with the village trustees, the DPW, the town of Pittsburgh, as well as their DPW. Those collaborations continue today. Together, we have mitigated invasive species from the park to designing and building trails with the help of the scouts. Additionally, the scouts have built bluebird houses, built and installed directional trail signage along with the knotweed solarization. Certainly, the recent installation of the new park entry signs purchased by the village was another notable milestone that the Arboretum assisted in coordinating. As your time permits, we encourage you to read through that volunteer effort report, and perhaps you'll be asking, is this 3 years or 5 years worth of work? In conclusion, what we ask is what would you like about what do you like about the work that has been done and the process that has occurred by? What would you like to see done in the future, and how can we improve these processes? We would like to propose that the Friends of the Arboretum be assigned to one trustee here in the village who would report our work, efforts, and planning directly to the village board and the DPW on a regular basis as appropriate. We would expect this to reduce our frequent need to appear here in this format. The assigned trustee would be requested to attend a portion of our monthly board meetings, to be aware of our idea and planning development, to keep it best suited to the village's master plan for the Arboretum.
Can I interject right now?
Yes.
You do know there's 2 liaisons to the Arboretum from this board, trustee Cove and trustee Marshall, so they can plug right in.
If
There you go.
that's the case, and.
Yep, they were assigned at the organizational meeting we have every year in
Okay.
April, yeah.
Okay, and with the conclusion, just thank you for the opportunity to post this.
Well, thanks for all your good work.
And one last thing, because it's been extra wet, and we understand we're going through transition in the DPW, but probably the meadow will have to be mowed sooner than it would in a normal year, just because of all the rainfall and.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say something? I just want to say, thank you, thank you. I mean, your efforts are amazing, and using an all volunteer, primarily village residents, is just phenomenal, because I know being volunteers in the past is very difficult to do. And your work is not only thorough, but well thought out and well researched and experienced, and from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure residents would feel the same. Thank you for giving us such a beautiful place, additional place to walk in. So thank you.
Thank you, it's
Yeah.
rewarding for us to see the progress.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot's been done, for sure. Any other questions from the board? You're all good? Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming in. Let's see, next up, where are we? Oh, intermunicipal agreement with the Pittsburgh Fire Department. So. Here we are. We just received some additional information today that the town has approved the agreement, with the exception was it of the first paragraph where they struck out use
That didn't want to video.
no video on the lot or something. So they did that, but Jeff correctly pointed out that another portion of this lease would be that we need to have our own intermunicipal agreement, am I correct, Jeff, between the village and the town as to who does what, just the way we have it, for example, with the lot behind Breathe. So that's another piece that we need to plug in. So we would ask Jeff then this evening to put that together.
We have to, I'll just use the Breathe.
Yeah, it's a template.
Town and village agreement.
Yeah, and
Should be.
Bill Smith's now been made aware of it, and so he's realizing they need to circle back as well. So I think really what's gonna happen is, there'll be a meeting of the great minds of the village attorney and town attorney to just make sure everybody's on the same page with all of this. And then we'll bring it back, what is it, the July 8th meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll reach back out to the fire district and say, just need this one last piece. We'll bring it right back. If there's any questions tonight, let's let Jeff know. But this is actually, I think, pretty much based on the standard agreement we already do have, with Breed, so.
So can I just make a comment? So since we have this wonderful document kind of right in front of us, I know that there's been some talk about trying to do some kind of agreement with the Day Hearts over at the Via Grizzle. Is that something that we could possibly utilize for that arrangement?
It could if we were to direct Jeff on the July 8th agenda where that item will be on the.
Okay, oh, thank you. Perfect, okay.
I was gonna put it on as a member.
Okay, good. So now it's nice and fresh, okay.
Right, and maybe in the interim, we'll talk about it, but maybe if you can reach back to Carrie, because you have a connection with her,
Yeah,
and just make
because I know
sure.
that she's gonna be on the July.
Yeah,
8th.
well, and that we need to know who her attorney is and to be able to move things forward.
We've got it, we have.
Yeah, I
We
think.
now
I
have
think
that,
you know
okay,
her
so now we have
Yeah.
everything, just so we can stay on track, because we know we want
attorney.
to move
So
these
she'll
things.
be on the agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for that.
The cautionary part of this,
Pardon me?
the cautionary part of this
Mhm.
is that. The fire department wants to terminate this deal on 60 days notice. So that just really,
My question, number 8, do we get the same right?
should,
I think it should.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
great.
Okay.
But
Both
it
parties.
also sort of dictates how much. Heavy infrastructure work we ought to do in there because. We don't know what exigency from the fire department's point of view is gonna require them to. Terminate the use of the municipal lot, so we don't wanna sink a lot of dough in there and then.
so in other words,
What?
it's one thing to do some striping or maybe there's some potholes.
I think that as you develop this maintenance agreement, you put some language in there that, we have a review with the fire department in the town before we spend over X amount of dollars.
Probably just with the town, because the fire department won't be a party to this intermunicipal agreement.
Okay,
This.
would be-
but they could terminate. If they weren't part of that discussion, I don't wanna spend 10 grand of our money, 10 grand of the
I would-
town, and then have the fire department come in a month later and say, thank you.
I would heavily recommend against any kind of expenditure.
Right, I agree.
Just as we build this, I wanna make sure we're
Yeah,
protected.
okay.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I think what John's saying is how would we actually write that out?
And do you
Yeah.
know what the condition of the parking lot is currently?
That should be done as part of
That's
the
good,
yeah.
agreement. We should look at it,
Take a look at it and see
what the condition is
what the
now.
condition is, yeah.
Do that,
The DPW,
okay.
Mhm.
So we arrange that, so.
Yep, we're arranging it. Yep,
Go along.
that's an action item.
Should it be someone from the town in the village?
Yeah, I mean, DPW in the largest sense of the word that,
Both. right?
yes, exactly, because we're both going to be responsible. And that actually, I think, is what also happened with the breathe
I
off.
mean, there's no reason we couldn't make the fire department a party to that agreement. They won't have any, laboring more, but, you know, if we want to be sure that they're gonna sign off on the include. Yeah,
Well-
it's too cumbersome, but,
I mean, it's never been an issue with breathe.
well,
Right?
no, but we have a 10-year lease, well.
Yeah, it's a different,
It's now 29, but we know what our lease is with Breathe. We're not gonna get kicked
You know
out.
what our concern is, that, you
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
use your legal magic to put it on paper.
Well, the fire, if I remember, the fire department's master plan that they presented to us included an expansion of the bay into where essentially that parking lot is.
Well, the expansion was actually on the Monroe Avenue side.
Yeah, it would have gone toward the dry cleaning.
Mhm,
It
yeah.
would have gone into this parking lot, essentially. It was pushing, it was creating another.
Not right here. This is really where we're talking about the municipal.
Yeah,
I know.
so
Right here, it's an item.
they're expanding into that. That was their.
Yeah, yes.
So what I'm saying is, you know, this 60 days is essentially giving them the opportunity if 6 years from now, they said, hey, we're finally gonna do that.
We probably would hear much more ahead.
Correct.
Yeah,
We will.
because- yeah.
But it's giving them that right.
I
to
understand.
make that-
I think we're all,
We've got a liaison to the fire department.
yep, we sure do.
You know.
We sure do.
Years and years.
I'm generally agreeing, like, I'm okay giving them 60 days, but I
Mhm.
also, if we're gonna spend any money, it'd be nice to go in and say, okay, if we're gonna do this, then can we have 5 years until that 60-day thing pops up again?
So,
Right, before we do anything.
Well, I think,
I don't see that.
It-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, you do it on an ad hoc,
yeah,
that's right.
Steve, you had a thought.
Yeah, I was curious, in the parking lot, are they gonna earmark spots off for like the fire department? And stuff like, because I can see that being where parking is in this village. They let it be a municipal lot, it fills up and they decide.
And we need to circle back on that. That question came, that was like one of the first questions I asked is, how are we delineating this
Yeah.
as a municipal lot relative to the needs of any additional parking for the fire district? And thank you for bringing that up again, because I need to circle back on that. They never got back with that information.
I think if you pack it up as municipal, or, you know, public. they're gonna-
Understood. I think we're all on the same page. Can you make that an action item to circle back on designation of parking spaces?
Would it be?
Well, it ought to be in the lease agreement.
There's
Yeah,
nothing in
but-
there now.
Ought to be in the lease.
But I think we need,
I've read this agreement as though there wasn't going to be any reserved spaces.
I think we need to confirm is where I'm going.
So I read, it. I mean,
I want to
there is
confirm,
anything
I'll
reserved.
confirm it. I'm gonna confirm it.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
No, I just want to confirm it.
Please confirm it.
I just,
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
let it.
confirm it. That's all. I don't want any surprises.
Yeah.
Yes, Dorothea.
2 items. One, Carrie Degenhart was sent the original brief.
Yes,
A couple
yes.
times, so,
To
Yeah.
her lawyer.
now that we have lawyer, but
Now we
I know we
just
emailed
got
it
it.
to her, it was requested. I just wanted to bring that up,
Thank you.
but also with that lot, we lack 24-hour parking in the village.
Mhm.
Is there a way we can designate some of that 24 hours? Because we have homeowners who have situations where they don't have enough, that they pave their driveway.
We seal it.
Yeah, we've run into issues.
We have,
People
you're right.
planning for 24-hour parking. Is there a way to designate some of that? Because we just
That's a
have
good
none in
point.
the village.
I never realized it, so there's no 24-hour parking behind the
No.
library?
Not, and in the winter, it really is an effect in the winter.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
It's happened in the winter where kids come home for college
And how
for the
about Reed?
holidays and you can't park on the street
No.
overnight.
Reed's not 24 hours?
There's no overnight there.
There's no overnight,
Okay.
and they
There's-
come here and they have nowhere to direct them.
Is that in the code, that there's no reserved parking in that lot? Or is
It
it
happens
summer?
really primarily in the winter.
Yes, from.
Well, there's no on-street parking.
There's no
Yeah,
on-street
that's
parking
for plowing.
because we're plowing. So these kids come home from college, they have nowhere to park. And then they get ticketed and it's an issue. So
Ticketed for overnight and breathe?
no, Breathe has no 24-hour.
They don't have 24-hour
So
parking.
do they have signs up there saying no overnight parking?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like 3 to 4,
You know, we've seen
that
some
kind.
people, I think.
Right.
Put that sign, it's not, really-
Yeah, who puts the signs up?
I don't, that Breathe is.
yeah, it's not in conformity with the lease, that's our lot.
Right, it's ours.
I don't-
We never had
I-
that situation.
You know, I can't
Well-
speak to that.
Well, let's revisit, okay,
Another good thing.
hang on, we have more action items, don't we? Okay,
To
so let's
research.
revisit that, let's revisit the
Research the,
lease relative to what would be overnight or not, and because, yeah, I would think we would have round-the-clock usage. I mean, I don't know.
And then if there is,
I-
then back to Lisa's point. use the
Right, I
reach.
think
Yeah.
you should have set designated time parking, I'm all for that to keep it turning over, but you should have a few spots just.
I think we all understand it. I mean, I think we're all there. It's just.
Right.
Which
let's take a
one,
look at-
where?
So
Yeah.
the question is, the library parking lot, is that the town's?
That's town.
Mhm.
Okay, so the town's designated whether.
Mhm.
You can fix that by saying 2 hour parking from 8 AM till 6 PM.
If it's not in our zoning, it should be in the lease, if that's what we want.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
But
So we need to
have
be-
it 2 hour during the day and then at night, after
Right,
the
the
6 PM, then it's
Yeah,
overnight.
yeah, yep. But let's do the research and get, make sure.
Then you have in like a situation like Reed, you have an employee, somebody's there for 8 hours, likely parks there too. So
They're gonna park overnight.
I would just say.
They don't
yeah,
park over vacation.
So you got 2 hour park from.
No, but they might work all day.
Right.
Well, they're not supposed to.
Well, then they wouldn't be, yeah, they can't park.
It's 2 hours, it's supposed to be 2 hour park.
It's Reed law.
Yes,
So where do the
and
employees?
they're
park?
ticketed.
Where
I
do the
know
employees?
all the
park?
town
They get tickets
employees
from
park,
town.
down on the side streets.
Yeah, I know.
I see ours.
I've heard.
Yeah, church.
So. Hit me on here.
Okay, everybody clear on,
No,
you know, we need a little bit of research here. Let's find out what's allowed. Okay, we have the action items on that.
So it's- sure.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Let's see, where are we now? Okay, we are at number 3.
Right.
Finally, we're at number 3. This is the amended local law on the rental registry. There was, the first part of this was, you know, to look at the inspections every 3 years
Mhm.
that had come back to the board. And then, Jeff, you had also put out the additional information from Sag Harbor, just as a sample of what they do. And maybe you could speak to that about, you know, I had come back with some of that information from NICOM. And, you know, what your thoughts are on this.
That's frankly nothing I ever thought of, but it
Yeah.
makes good sense so that we don't take on additional liability that we don't necessarily have to take on. Fire inspections are required, according to Steve. So we're not gonna get out of that, but
Those annual, like the businesses and,
yeah,
Yeah.
the businesses,
that's New York State law.
in terms of whether or not we have to inspect the rentals, we don't clearly, because we've not been doing it. So if we get out of that business, then we're not really in line to be sued successfully for the condition of the property. We're relying on the certification of the landlord.
So it's a form, you know, that they sign
Right.
certifying that, yes, they have met all of these requirements as set forth. Because if they say, oh, yes, we have all these, you know, smoke detectors in and everything, and we're all set. And then there's a fire, and you find out there's no smoke detectors, yet they've signed the affidavit, they are liable.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's,
It was eye-opening.
yeah.
To hear that story.
Yeah, David was in on the conversation, and we heard the story, it's like, oh.
I mean, it was very sad. He told.
I know,
like,
I know,
the-
yeah,
There was a big fire and, you know, casualties, but the idea that there were no smoke detectors.
yeah,
So why, you know, that liability, why have that be on us?
Mhm.
yeah, and it is incumbent on the landlord.
They
Be in compliance.
A lot of work.
I know, I'm just talking, that.
Wow,
we
okay,
were just talking about
but
that,
it makes sense.
but nonetheless, he's still a resource if anybody, you know, they wanna know about it, but, you know, this way, it certainly transfers liability.
The inspections take more time, it's chasing down everybody to do
To
that.
do that.
Boy, do you chase
Right.
people down, I know.
So are you gonna have to chase down the people, the same people to sign the, the waiver and send it to you?
Well, I think that, like you said, it puts the onus on them,
Yeah.
and I'll come up with a sheet that says this is requirements that you need to certify.
Yeah.
And Jeff obviously we put together an agreement, and then it's on them.
Mhm.
But you've got to get them in and have them filed at the village hall, right?
They don't rent it. They don't perform it, and they don't.
Not in
rent
compliance,
So we're gonna have the forms here in your,
it goes to code
it.
enforcement,
It'll be part of that application.
Yeah.
now that sounds great.
yeah.
Permit.
Do they have to simply certify or provide proof of certified? They just have to sign and certify that they have it.
Yeah,
They don't have to give us the proof that they have.
correct.
No, it's all it's on them.
Yeah.
That's another.
We're
level of
indemnified.
us taking that on. I said, yeah, we checked.
So if they falsify it.
Yep.
On
No
them,
problem. Yeah.
you know, exactly, you know, so, so the action this evening is to,
Well, the question is whether or not the board wants to go
Yeah.
forward with this legislation as it's drafted, which provides for inspections every 3 years, or whether we want to back up a little bit and adopt the certification approach.
I personally like the certification approach, you know, just based on,
Yeah.
Yeah, I-
100%, yeah.
we have a vote in the room.
So as far as the permitting fees, that's gonna stay the same.
Yep.
It's just really the work of getting
Yep.
the certification of the inspection form.
Others will still know where all those rentals are, what's
Yeah.
going on, which I think is great, so.
So we
And that's
file-
still do over exteriors, things like that, maintenance, the property maintenance issues, that's still in our core, within my core, but as far as the interior inspection, that's on that.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna make a lot of business owners. that are
yes, we
probably
have, I
happy.
see a hand over there, yes.
Sorry. One thing, are these certifications gonna be notarized?
Mhm. Yeah, they're gonna be actually verification.
Okay.
What,
I can
a verification?
see I can see an uptick in the office notarizing these statements, that's one.
Okay,
That's fine, we have 2 notaries on staff.
Yeah.
The other part of that, I know a resident could request let's say you're renting the property, you can request Steve come in because you have concerns. If Steve goes in and finds that they certified that this was all done, and it wasn't done, what happens?
They're gonna probably be on the road to having their license revoked,
Yeah.
and
unless they clean it up. Right?
yeah, they're noticed, they have a certain time frame to comply,
People just put it in the.
Yeah.
Just put them in the pipeline.
exactly.
Enforce the pipeline.
But so they would fix it and then when they need to recertify.
No, I think the way Steve would handle it, I'm guessing would be to say, okay, you got a problem, do you wanna lose your license, do you want to start that process? Or do you wanna fix it?
Mhm. That's straight up code enforcement.
Severity of
Straight up code
what it is.
enforcement.
People get a couple of days, some people get, a couple of
Yeah.
weeks, depending on what it is.
The severity, okay.
Does that need to be addressed in the code?
It's, that's just part of code enforcement, is
Right.
with any loss.
Just checking.
No, thank you. No, we should talk it all through, make sure we're covering the bases for sure, you know.
Well, okay with this.
I think there's a process in there. In the code anyway to terminate the license.
There is. I'm sorry, Dave, you said, I'm sorry,
I'm comfortable with this approach.
with the
Sort of.
verification.
Generalist.
Okay,
I'm okay with it, but the biggest issue I've got is we're assuming that the owner occupied homes are all safe and cozy and comfortable. And you just don't know what's going on behind closed doors,
Right, I know.
you know?
I don't see really any way for us to.
No, I get it. I'm trying to reconcile that in my own head.
What do you mean the difference between?
well, rentals are a business.
Rental
Yeah,
business
Yeah, we-
versus an owner occupied, like, I may not have any fire extinguishers, but I don't have to certify it. with anyone.
No, I get it, but.
And you're suggesting that
No,
either they
no.
shouldn't or I
No,
should?
no, I'm just saying that
Trying to
we're
put the two
making the
together.
assumption that the owner occupied home is all hunky dory and everything's wonderful.
We have to,
No, we're just not gonna regulate.
Right,
No,
yeah.
I get it. That's why
we
I,
have to,
Yeah, I think there's a different level of scrutiny when there are rentals in your village.
yeah, I get that part.
That's the way I think about it.
I'm good.
okay, so. Do we want to direct Jeff to, what do I say, revise the revision?
Advise the.
Yeah,
I say yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
To allow.
we're in agreement,
Are we doing a vote on?
we gonna vote?
I don't think we have to.
Oh,
Do
do
we have?
you wanna vote? Do you want us
It's
to?
always good to have a little record of time.
Okay.
What
Is there a
Unless
motion?
it's, unless it's too.
Sure.
Topographic.
Yeah, okay,
Very, very detailed.
I make a motion to direct Jeff to draft amended language based off of a certification verification approach.
I second. Oh,
that was a tie.
you got me.
Okay, trustee Lindbeck,
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Yeah.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next up, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry, go
Deb,
ahead.
will you have this ready for the next meeting, or should I wait to hear from you and add it to the agenda?
Yeah, we, send the deal.
Yeah, you gotta get it out for them to have it.
Oh, yeah.
We have
A.
plenty of time though. I mean, we basically just got done these in. Like you're done, right?
Just
You
wanna
want
make
to
sure
already
because
have it.
it's gonna be, if it doesn't.
No, the language for Jeff.
Language for Jeff.
It has to be on your desks.
We have to age it.
You can do it to public hearings.
Specifically for this,
Mhm.
right, what I'm saying is, we're not in any rush.
That's what I'm saying. If I don't get it to this next meeting on July 8th, it's gonna be August.
That's fine.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in
I
other
see what
words,
you're
just the
saying.
time frame.
Yeah.
What,
Well, you tell me what you want, no?
August is fine. Yeah, it's not changing anything,
Okay.
right?
Well,
Everything's
it
already
is.
done.
Yeah.
Well, are you inspections?
No,
Okay, well,
I've got more scheduled, so do I just not do them or do them?
I would do.
yeah, I would, we're changing course.
Why don't I see if I can get it done by the,
Yeah.
I'll get a week and then.
Okay,
Okay, I just wanted to verify.
If I don't, then you won't put it on you.
gotcha.
That'll keep.
I'll leave it in your.
Capable.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay, thank you. Next up, the approval of the HPV PZBA training resources. Yep, you have, Alexandria put this together, am I correct?
Yes, she did.
Okay. You know, all kinds of opportunities
So
here.
I think this came to be an action item because I had brought up the fact that I was concerned about the training of our current boards, both HPV and the zoning and planning board. And currently, with all the appointments, 80% of our HPV does not have required training, and 100% of our zoning planning does not have required training. So although this is great, what are we going to do about what's happening currently, and how are we appointing people when they haven't, according to our code, be eligible for reappointment to the board when they have not had any training? They've known that they needed to have training long ago, and they didn't have to wait for us to give them an opportunity to have training. Why? I never did. I went out and got my own training.
The code says that it has to be approved by the board of trustees.
So we need to approve. We
I get
need to
that.
Any
approve,
qualify, any training to qualify for the requirements of the code has to be approved by the board. of trustees.
and that's what's in front of us.
And the board of trustees has never approved.
So all these years, we've never had,
Right.
so all these years,
Mhm.
well, all of a sudden now we have to have this and we've been.
Not all of a sudden,
Point
it
it out.
was never done.
I mean,
And it
thanks,
was
thanks,
in code.
Steve, that's good.
No.
Realize we
Okay.
will,
So do we have to approve individual members' training?
no, you have to approve general training syllabus,
Okay,
and then they have to fill the.
okay, but we would approve this as.
Syllabus that, yeah, in other words, that's what Alexandria did. She did a compilation
Hmm.
for this board of a wide range of training opportunities
Then it's
that
up,
we would approve.
And then
it's up to the chair
Lisa.
to monitor.
the next step is why haven't you done it? Right?
Next step is what?
Then the next step is why haven't you done it? When they don't do it.
Meaning the board or those members of
The members.
The you know, in other words, it's the follow up
no,
with the members, and they have,
Once you do it, then they're on.
Yeah.
notice that we've got-
and they have a certain time frame, I think. Alexander's tracking.
What is it, 4 hours a year?
Yeah.
Over?
For HPV, it's 4, PZBA is 8.
It's more, it's 8, yeah,
Yeah, because they have to do both zoning.
yeah.
So now that we have this, and once we do approve this, does that mean that we will send out a letter to the chairs and to the board members to let them know?
We will pass on the information
Yeah.
for the boards and
That's
encourage
the-
people to get to their training.
That's the whole intention, and that's the whole part of why it's here in front of us tonight, to correct the process and to move it forward for the HPV and the planning and zoning boards. So this is what's gonna generate the training.
Do we have to have a public hearing for this?
No,
No, this is
just a
what
moment.
we set based on our code, so we need a motion.
So I make a
Which
motion
is-
to approve.
Okay, yeah,
Board training.
Second,
Discussion.
discussion.
yeah, that's the
So
board.
with this kind of syllabus that we put together
Mhm.
here, I just want to make sure, Jeff, from a rigidity standpoint, there could be alternative materials theoretically that pop up, you know, again, let's say NICOM or whatever comes
Comes
up
back
with
to
a
the
new.
board.
And then a board chair or board member will say,
We'll have to
dear board
present
of
it.
trustees, this looks great. You put it on the approved list
Yeah,
of
the board.
training materials.
In other words, the board approves this, the board also approves any applications that go, that are draft, that,
Approved alternative.
yeah, all of that. So it comes
So
through the
that'll be
board.
Again, on an ad-hoc basis.
Right,
If somebody
right.
comes and says, hey, Chippo has this 6-hour WOW program, I really want to do it, can you approve it?
Right.
As an approved training.
If we still have SHPO.
Yeah.
They're all losing funding,
Okay.
Okay,
which is something I'm gonna send out to the board. I just got a bulletin.
What's going on?
Federal government's cutting out most of the funding for all the SHPOs across the nation. Yep, and SHPOs are already cutting staff. So as an action item, I'm gonna send.
So
it
our
out.
PLG is gonna continue to exist?
I'd like us to. I'm sending it out to our board here. You
Governing
can all-
body,
we,
how that's possible?
welcome to where we are. I'll send it out to the board so you can see what's going on. Yeah, that just came in.
great, thank you, guys.
Okay,
That's awesome.
so we have a motion and a second.
Yeah, a couple other.
Oh,
Yeah.
if more comment, okay.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I did not see any of Monroe County's training, which I found to be helpful and pretty good. So I was wondering if we could add Monroe County.
Sure, let's amend it.
Yeah.
Training from Monroe,
And I
training
think-
from Monroe County,
I
if
know they
it's not
have
in,
planning,
They do have a great plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've taken that, it's really
Yeah,
good.
that should be on the list. for
Should be, isn't it
boards.
on?
couldn't find
Is that technically Monroe County or is it?
No, it's Monroe County planning.
Monroe County.
They give it at MCC usually,
They have it
Yeah.
at RRT, that's what they do.
That's
it's really good.
They had some webinars, but they have
Yeah.
land use decision
They're
making
good
training.
stuff, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
They have some pretty good people giving those presentations.
Yeah.
they did. And it's, the stories behind it are also local.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, so you really get a sense.
Yeah.
I know, that's
They
true.
do evening trainings and they
Mhm.
teach you and they're very nice.
Then the other comment was, is I personally, would probably kick off the YouTube videos. That's my own thought, where you click on this link and I just watch a video and then I say I watched the video, which is fine, I suppose. And I have to download or fill in some video training form, but I don't even know what that is. So maybe, maybe it's a certification and I'm on, but there's a certain degree of signing up through an agency for CE that I'm used to, where somebody is creating an interface that requires my engagement and.
The concern is you can set the video, walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how much are we gonna micromanage though,
I
really?
mean, I don't wanna
I
micromanage,
mean,
Yeah, that,
These are
but
volunteer board members.
Yeah, we've got to trust.
How
We
do you
gotta
get
trust.
volunteer board members? They've already stepped up.
We gotta trust the
I don't know.
That's training.
well, I was gonna say, I went to one of the MCC trainings and I did see a couple of people just kind of staring off in the space.
Oh, yeah, help that. I mean, yeah, you do what you
You never
do.
know what's gonna
You
happen.
never know who's gonna absorb it.
fine being overruled, I just.
You can
I
tell
just
your-
wanna
you
make-
can tell you're a dad of a
They
middle.
can find the honor code.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, we have our own village training
Yeah.
that is on a YouTube video.
Which is fabulous. That was Caitlin Mize.
So
Okay.
if we do that, we eliminate our own.
Yeah. And we paid for that. I mean, not a lot of money, but that was done 4 years ago through the Landmark Society. And at the time, Caitlin Mize, she's now with the Preservation League of New York, but she did the training and it was completely customized to our village code,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Leave
That's
that on
awesome.
the list.
Yeah.
you know? So it should be on the list.
Yeah,
I
where
think
is
it
that?
is.
Is there a line on each of these that says, and other courses as
Yeah, here
approved
it
by
is.
the
Pittsburgh
board?
Age.
Is there some way that,
Well, that was kind of my question.
It's on it.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Oh, yeah.
If something comes
You could
up.
put one sentence at the bottom, the board will consider alternative.
There we go.
correct, I'm.
Because like the way, again,
Yeah.
there could be state changes that come up. out of
Sure,
nowhere,
absolutely.
things like
Good
that.
amendment.
Absolutely, updates. Okay, so there's 2 amendments that I'm seeing. One is to
Add
make
Monroe
sure it's
County.
include Monroe County.
Yep.
Training and also the caveat at the bottom
Yeah,
that,
the catch-all.
You can ask us for anything else.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much in some way, shape.
yeah. We're good to go.
Right.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We had a motion.
You had
We had a motion. We had, oh, what am I doing?
With
We need-
amendment.
We
With
need the
amendment.
amendments as amended.
Now, as amended.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
trustee Lindbeck,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wiltz.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. I asked the board a question. Would you like me to actually go to these meetings and present the training materials and encourage boards to do their training? That way it's not coming from
Chair?
chair, it's coming.
Anything to
from
help the cause.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're HR, I think
Why not?
it's appropriate for them to come from.
Anything to help
Why
the
not
cause,
the case?
or the liaison.
Liaison.
That's a good idea.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Oh,
saying
yeah,
that way.
John. One more thing.
I can do that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you
that
can
way
do
it's
great.
coming directly from the board.
And you're reporting back the action taken by the board, you know, that's your, yeah, there we go. Thanks.
Once we get the revised version, I'll take it to the next meeting.
Okay.
And I will too.
And you know what I'm thinking too, why don't we, and you guys can, you know, your liaisons, and you've served on these boards, and you know this, I would think, especially for new people, if you could prioritize maybe the first 3 or something, say, you know, start with these, you know, that kind of thing. I know we have a couple 101s in there, but I think that would really be helpful, just to kind of start to get their feet wet in a certain,
Yeah.
you know, direction, so.
Great,
I
okay.
think they would appreciate that,
So
frankly.
then you'll let us know. when
Yeah, I'll
it's
talk to
ready.
you, I have that amended and we'll get it to you so you
Okay.
can present it to the board.
Follow-up question on this too. We're the ones that came up with the 4 hours, right?
Mhm. It's in the code, it used to be 2.
I think that was. a
It's
state
fairly
word.
standard though.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's state.
But it was 2, I remember when I was a trustee, it was 2,
Seems so.
and I'm like, and we listened, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then the state.
4
Yeah.
hours?
Mhm.
Stanford?
Yeah.
That does seem.
Well, you can always do more. But
Right.
we all know that there's the minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah, it's the minimum.
Great.
Okay, next up, the Zoglin retainer agreement. You know, some issues were raised last time by trustee Lindbeck. Really salient points. I had a meeting with Mindy that actually culminated in Mindy meeting with John
Yeah.
more
I met-
recently,
I
so.
met with Mindy for about an hour last week, and I told her that I didn't like her proposal because she had a table in there where there were items that she would perform routinely and items she would perform on demand.
Mhm.
And I felt that the items performed on demand were probably the more salient issues that we needed addressed, depending on the application. And she said she was absolutely fine with that. She said this agreement has been standard for many years and nobody's questioned it. And then I got into it with her, the streamlining that we're gonna try to do with the planning
Mhm.
board. And she was on board 100%. We were actually talking about how she could help with that and different things that she would do to help the board and to make it more user-friendly for the resident. So we had a very good
Great.
discussion, and she said, you know, we didn't change anything in it because we really can't say this has to do here, but
So you came to an understanding now.
with her willingness to work with us and do
Mhm.
things, I was comfortable with it, and
Okay.
based on that, I would, since I'm the one that held it up for 2 weeks, I'd make the motion to approve her agreement, the retainer agreement that was presented.
And I think you have to direct me to sign it. You have in the motion, yeah, and to.
So,
direct me.
I would amend my motion to direct the mayor to sign the retainer agreement.
A second.
Back for discussion, anybody? Or, oh.
No, well, the only thing I would say is that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
really.
Literally, Mindy's great, and, but it's more importantly, it's great that, you know, there's gonna be that streamlining, and again, the thought for the residents. Making it a better process, all
Yeah.
that's perfect, so thank you, John.
Yeah, and I had a really good conversation as well, so that's why, you know, it all ended up working out, so. And thanks again, John, also for following up and meeting with her. Okay, we have a motion and a second, vote please.
Trustee Wiltz.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Hi.
Trustee Lindbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Next up, the welcome package. This is, I think you included sort of like a template in like the letter from the first, an old one.
Yeah.
You and I are gonna be working on that, so.
This is for the welcome packet?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
why not that Dave? Why is Dave here?
I just wanted-
I just brought it up.
Oh, because he brought it up? You wanted to wait, you said?
Yeah.
He's up in the stats.
Oh, he's up there?
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
get-
Give him the props. Give him the props on that, come on. So,
Mess with the algorithm.
Yeah, so that was like an old one from a while back.
This was when I came, trustee Galusha and trustee Galley.
Yeah.
To go around.
So
and
we
do
can
the
use
welcoming.
this maybe as a template.
Okay,
So
perfect.
they would usually
Go to
go to the door with that.
Yes,
Exactly.
Right? Is it-
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
So the mayor and I
It's
will,
old, but you get the idea.
so the mayor and I. will
yeah, I
have a
didn't
meeting
include
to-
everything in there because I didn't want to bog down the packet. 'Cause
Right.
it's old, outdated, but that was what was cast out.
Yeah, and there's some other thoughts.
Oh,
you
yeah, I know.
just
I think-
because of where we are
I think-
now, the other things that we can put in.
Yes,
So,
so the mayor and I will go through that and refine it, but as far as who actually delivers it, I think we could develop a process so that all.
oh,
of us
yeah,
are involved.
we could all take turns.
Yeah,
doing
well,
it.
we'll be on
Yeah,
the welcome packet monthly committee or whatever.
It's awesome.
isn't it good?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did all the legwork. This really.
I have a
Okay,
so Dorothea, will you send out a notice to me and the mayor and we could get some time together that her and I can meet?
Alexandria, I think will
Or
follow up.
Alexandria?
Yeah, she really handles the master
Okay.
calendar, so she'll follow up on that.
Perfect.
Yeah, because it's really about revising, because we
Yeah.
definitely have the template.
In the process.
And the process, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, next
Good.
up, the,
Just a quick question.
Oh,
We do retroactive packets. I would have, I think there are.
I
a
love
lot of-
that. Let's
I
do that.
genuinely think there are a lot of
I
like
think-
residents.
we should go back maybe a few years.
Yeah, and that'll be part of the process,
Look like-
figure out how we're.
You
gonna do it.
know,
Sure.
I love that. I think that's great. And we actually have, we have somewhere, I think, a list of, Steve, didn't we talk, don't we have a list of sort of the newer residents that came in during COVID?
It comes and goes.
I know.
mean,
I think we can put it together, though.
But that's easy to get from a realtor. We can get it from a
Well,
realtor.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Since the
No,
last
we can
year.
definitely
You
do.
can also.
Well, I'd go back further than that.
MLS.
You
Yeah.
get it from the, park. BOE. So if you go to the BOE and you just say, hey, give me a voter roll.
Oh, that, no, you can get,
Oh,
you can get that also on the voter roll, but it. Yes, I'll just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we can do this.
We'll
Yeah,
find
we
it.
can do
Okay.
this. Yes, Dorothea.
We actually do get that information from the town assessor when they.
Yeah, from
they
Robson.
change it hands, and we're like the last one to get it, but we do receive.
Well, let's follow up and let's see if we can.
So we have that, and we can also, because we also use that and really to change the sewer accounts, so that might be a.
I'd like to go back a few years, though. I think that'd be really good,
Well,
definitely.
while you guys work on it, one thing that might be good to include that's
Action
already
item.
in there, don't remember if I saw it. Was hey, here's a bunch of common things that you might want to do for your home. But don't forget, you need to check with Steve.
Oh, yeah. That's
So-
good.
Oh,
Well,
there-
we're gonna-
we
we're gonna
actually
talk
have a
about
letter
that.
drafted for that.
Yeah.
And it's also gonna be on the website. We're gonna, once we finish transitioning, we're gonna talk about IT in a minute. Once we finish that, transition, we're gonna update the website with exactly that,
Mhm, mhm.
you know, new homeowner, look at this.
Right.
Yeah,
Lucky
Old
you.
homeowner, check it out too.
yeah, yeah,
Here's your reminder.
Yeah, yeah, but we'll
Okay.
come up with something catchy.
Okay.
Okay, next up, the gear fund, and it is not about buying gears. This was a fund, I know, Jeff, we had this chat, I tried to say no gears here. The Gear family. a long time-
1905,
Yeah, 1905.
the will of Thumb Gear. Appointed security trust as. The trustee of the trust to the amount of $1,000. The interest of which would be given to the Village of Pittsburgh Board of Trustees. To help the poor in the village. The bequest is specifically related to the poor in the village. Around the 1987, the then North Star Bank was tired of hanging on to a $5,000 trust. And gave to the village, said, hey, take it off our hands. So they gave it to us. We accepted it, and there are no conditions on that, our acceptance. We can use it for whatever we want.
Not just for the poor.
And just for the poor, not for just anything. We can plug it in the in the budget as a, or not the budget, but in part of the income. The only constraint is a moral one, I guess. Need to honor
The type of intention
wish-
anyway.
the wishes of this
Gear, and I can tell you exactly what his name was in a minute.
Yeah, that'd be nice to know that.
I think we should probably brainstorm and figure out some creative ways.
Julian W. Gear,
Julian W. Gear. Okay.
1905.
Well, we were kicking around a couple of ideas. Cause
Because I know that the.
Can I just
Sorry.
finish this sentence? Yeah, thanks so much. It is exciting. So what is it now? About 6,000 maybe?
It's $6,200
Yeah,
and 69 cents.
okay.
I took it out of the CD because I really want to disperse this. I don't want to administrate anymore. When I became treasurer, there was no instruction with what to do with this. I think previously, my understanding, it was distributed $100 at a time to food cover. But there was no governing, nothing telling me what to do, and I had brought this to the trustees, we have Jeff look into this, because really, we're gonna be, if we do $100 at a time, it is never gonna run out of money. It needs to be
It's
just.
too much management, yeah.
It just needs to.
I think we should disperse it, but I mean, I think, I like the idea of, there's sort of a moral element to this of doing something good and certainly within our community. So I'm sort of more in that direction, and I know, obviously we always think of food cupboard or Pittsburgh Youth Services. There's also another entity that started up a number of years ago called Keeping Our Promise. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a woman in Pittsburgh who started this, and she helps to relocate and resettle families from Afghanistan and their families who supported our troops over there and worked either in intelligence or on the field. And they need housing and they're starting over. So I do know, and very recently, they've lost a significant amount of funding. And maybe that's something we consider as well. I mean, I open it up, but I think I am comfortable keeping it more on the sort of with that moral direction of what the intention was to help people that needed help.
May I think I agree. I think that we should be there for people that need help within our community. I know that when I was on HPB, it was really difficult to see residents had to come in that didn't have money to restore their homes. And we talked always about maybe having some kind of little fund that could support residents that were having some kind of not formal hardship that had to get, some restoration work done in their home. And maybe we can consider doing this, giving this to the HPB for that exact reason, people that need to do some renovation that they can't afford it, and this is a little help. Since we are a historic village and we have these regulations that we set upon our village residents, that we're gonna offer people that can't afford it some help.
So if people can't afford it, I mean, how do we qualify them that
Like a
way?
grant, like $1,000 grant to do.
But you're saying how do you pay
No,
the actual families?
Yeah.
You'd have to get out of that
You
business.
really don't want the HPB in that business.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's gonna go fast, probably 6 people.
Yeah, but they've got to decide who's more needy, they've got to decide who really can't afford it, who doesn't want to afford it. I mean, obviously, the board should do whatever the board thinks is best, but I don't. That puts us still in the administrating the fund.
John, I know you and I were speaking about it, about the idea of, it's a chunk of money, but it's not a big sum. And I would like to see it dispersed sort of once, like make an impact. I think, wasn't it what you said, John, something about making that impact to an entity?
If we could.
Yeah.
If we had the right person or group or
Mhm.
whatever, I would do it.
So going back to your point, Mayor, about kind of making the local impact, and again, it sounds like this was originally for helping Pittsburgh, poor families. Which I don't know if they exist anymore. Your organization that you
Mhm.
mentioned,
Oh, Keeping Our Promise.
Keeping Our Promise, okay, so they're running into funding issues?
No, they're. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's where they are, the need is great, because. The
I'm assuming
families,
federal funds are.
yeah, that's really, I think, where it's going for them, certainly.
Okay, and if it doesn't, how does that relate from a Pittsburgh standpoint? Is it because the woman who started it?
She started in Pittsburgh, and the families are settled in the area, but we actually have Afghan families living in our village that have been settled here. Because they helped our soldiers, they helped our troops.
So that sounds awesome. Now, at the same time, would there be a way, but I know it's not a huge chunk, could we still also give some money to like a Pittsburgh Youth Services or?
We could do whatever we want. I mean, if we
Pantry
want to parse it or
something, give like a little, like.
do
$1,000
half and
here,
half, or however we all want to do it.
Okay.
So I have another,
Hang on, I'm sorry.
I have another suggestion, perhaps because we don't want to administrate it, and perhaps we don't really know the quote needs of our community, but maybe we should give it to an organization that does, like for instance, Pittsburgh Rotary. That is what they do. We can give them the money to utilize in all of their, how they help our own Pittsburgh community and people in need. And they can distribute it within like the food cupboard, and they would distribute it, and it would be our donation from the village to the Pittsburgh Rotary.
I'd like to see us do something direct rather than give it to another organization to do something else with it. I think it's more meaningful for us as a board on a commitment level and on the moral level of what this intention was. And I love the work Rotary does.
It would just spread it out a little bit, you know what they would be.
Well, we could give everybody $50 and have all sorts of organizations.
I guess
If that's what
we
we
could-
wanted to do.
I guess
It
we
is at the
could-
discretion of this
Sure.
board as to how we choose to disperse the funds. Now, you had a thought.
I'd like to see it go to somebody, not as well known, Pittsburgh Food Cupboard, Pittsburgh Youth Services, they get a lot of
They get a
money
lot
from
of
each different areas, and I'd rather see somebody that's not as prominent, that could use our help.
That's fair.
So here's another idea. Could we put a call out to the community and say that we have a grant that is in the intention?
Not a
of-
grant.
Well. we
It's a
call it
donation, and it's a direct
Well, we
donation
can describe
from
it.
our municipality of funds
And
that,
maybe they have ideas of who we
That
might want to
makes sense.
consider. We can put a list together and then, just to formulate some kind of list.
I don't know. I think my only concern is the size of it is
Not
not,
that big. Right, right.
that it's kind of like, this was $1 million. I'd be like, all right, sure, like we need to, let's all come in. I don't know. I just really, I do like the fact that, and again. I keep reading.
keeping our promise, I know.
But that,
Okay.
I don't know, just thinking from a patriotic standpoint and also the fact that it might go pretty far in that scenario and the fact.
I
that
think
it
it'd be
is
a major-
Focused,
Major donation.
but
for
again,
them.
I'm okay with.
Yep.
Whatever anybody else.
I would like to get some options together. I think that if we can bring some options to the table and maybe we can have a discussion so that we have some other.
Okay, so why don't we make that an action item? Yeah, sure,
bring some
let's make that an
options
action
together.
item. Let's put it on the next agenda. Everybody can, poke around here and look for, need in the village.
It should be a not-for-profit corporation.
Oh, definitely not for profit, for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
Well, there are 292 options on the IRS for nonprofits in Pittsburgh, New York.
So we can
Is it
divide
town?
$6,000, 292.
$3.
Think of town.
There we go. Okay,
But in case anybody needs some help,
okay, so we can,
that's.
you're
We
right.
could go with public restrooms. The poor would benefit from that.
$6,000.
Well, it's not gonna get
That's
that far, but
that's-
it's. start
That can
first
cover
and
some of the
engineering
porta
work.
potties right now.
45.
Okay, but, okay, so it's an action item, it's gonna come back, everybody's gonna be coming up with some great ideas, how we can spread it all over, wonderful. Okay, next up, signage. And, you're all concerned about the sign.
Yep, I passed out additional information from trustee.
Oh,
It was
that
sent out
was-
today, it was on the table.
Oh, thank you, okay.
So Steve and I talked about this the other day. And our solution. Once we get to that, code and stuff and find it. You want to? What's the code, what's called, which film section you talking about?
68.
168-5.
Yeah, that's the wrong one, change.
We're having
Yeah.
yours. Oh, wait, maybe I put it over here.
Right, so our solution was to take out the first sentence. Starting with any illuminated sign,
Mhm.
because that's that doesn't help the issue. And then, put in a provision that no sign shall be lit other than internally. From an external source. I'm sorry,
from an external source.
No signs should be lit other than.
other than externally in accordance,
Approved by.
you know, in accordance with what approvals are required by the code. And then the third. one-
Say that again, just say that again, because,
What would be an example of that? Like,
no, but just say the sentence again and then an example.
Yeah, you can only light your signs with external lights,
So like a
flood,
spotlight.
like a spot.
like a good back hanging out.
It's not a light.
Red lights.
sorry, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
Okay,
can't be lit up.
I mean, we'll figure out the lights, but you can only use, you can only light them with external
Mhm.
sources. And the last one is whether or not you want open signs, because right now they're not permitted.
Because,
Little open signs.
because you're
Are
internally.
you talking about like a flip?
Yeah.
So can we just go back to logistics here?
Pointing it out.
That's,
Can we go back to logistics? I mean, it says it right here. Any illuminated sign or device shall employ only lights emitting a light of constant intensity. Okay, no signs shall be internally lighted. And I talked with Steve about this. To me, those open signs are internally lit, right? They light up from the inside.
Right.
So that's why they should not right now, according to this code, be allowed in our.
It's not the way I read it.
But here's the thing, we have an opportunity with what
Clarify.
you're doing to clarify it in a way anybody reading it,
Yes.
rather than, I see, you know,
Yeah, people
okay,
are going, yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
it's a one and done kind of thing, to just clean that up, take
Yes.
out that first sentence, which kind of does nothing, and clarify what that means to only have externally lit signs.
And you, right now, the code permits open banners,
Yep,
but it does
but
not.
not open.
Open signs.
Okay, so the sign in
let's do-
front of like the coffee shop,
Yeah.
With bunch of lights.
but not, is technically in violation.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
it just isn't
ridiculous.
provided for in the code, I mean, I was shocked when he said that to
What
me.
sign in front of the coffee shop?
Like like literally like a flip of like.
Open and close
Open and
sign.
close.
Okay.
No, it's not allowed.
If you take the code literally.
That's why we're
You're
doing
not
it.
allowed to put any sign in a window without.
Well, where does that say that in the code literally? I don't see it in this,
But it's not a permitted sign, it doesn't,
but where does
it would
where does
actually
it say
have
it in
to
this?
allow.
Where does it say it in this that you can't have a sign in the window?
There's a caveat in the code, says no lot sign in, even inside a window visible from the public way is allowed without approval.
Where is that in the code though? I don't see it written.
I don't know exactly what it is, I'm telling you, I read the code front, back, top, and bottom again.
It's in the code, it's not on that paper, is
It's
what,
in the code that every single sign, if
Yes.
you want to take it literally, has to be approved, so if somebody has a little flip open sign. I don't see it as being a big deal.
no, we can, in other words, we can direct Jeff to just amend that to enable that signage of open and close. And I also would think business hours, you know, that it's just, you know, so there's
I'm
no.
trying to word smart, Lisa.
Yes, just say that, it's not on that page,
No signs allowed inside the window without approval.
except for temporary signs in a new store,
I do accept, but even
Yeah.
It's
temporary.
the definition of sign.
right,
It's the sign definition.
yeah,
I thought it was just
It
advertising business.
nope.
There has to be.
That any material, structure, or device or part thereof composed of lettering, pictorial matter, logo, contrasting colors, blah, blah, blah. When located outdoors or on the exterior of a building or inside a building in view of the general public.
What was that? What code is that?
Yeah, it's the sign code, it's the definition of sign.
Just, yep,
So it's, yeah,
Okay.
definition section.
so we need to expand the,
The
Yeah.
definition.
no, we need to put the section in to enable the
Right.
open and close in hours.
There's a section here that says signs permitted without permit. And you would add.
Yep,
Open, closed signs of some dimension, which may also include hours of operation.
yeah,
And that's what I need, the dimension,
Okay.
if you wanna go down the road.
but I think we
Yeah.
should go down the road, I think it's just a practical matter for a shopkeeper.
So should we go back to the illumination one first and get that one cleaned up and then we can do the sign
Yeah.
open and close thing? Okay, so,
Yeah, I think that
Mm-hmm.
to clean it up. You take out the first one, which I
Yeah.
don't think adds anything,
taking out illuminated, we're gonna,
and then you make it clear. That the only illumination on for and on signs may be exterior, must be exterior to the sign. As approved by or as in compliance with any requirements of the code.
Yeah, referring back to the other sections of the code.
Okay, so on that definition, a sign that kind of has some built-in lighting to reflect down on it. Let's say it says open,
No,
Can be built.
No.
can't be.
It has to be separated from the sign.
that has to be exterior.
Right.
Lit.
Mhm.
Like a gooseneck or something like that, can't reflect.
Spot.
Little
Little
Spot.
spot.
Yeah, there's all sorts of other stipulations in the lighting code.
Exactly.
That affects that also.
Right,
And I think the reason for that is so that we were only illuminating like the business sign, like what the business was, so that we don't have all these things going on at one spot.
Okay, so let's talk about implications for a second, the real estate, business that has
Mhm,
lit
that's an issue.
properties from signage within the window, but the lighting is behind or embedded in.
Yeah, there's sign boxes.
Right,
that are
there's
lit.
sign boxes.
Well, not sign boxes, they're photo boxes.
first of all, those signs are illegal,
Yes, they are.
They always have been.
Yeah,
they're illegal.
They've never not been. They've always been illegal.
they have.
Does
So what they-
allowing them to be there for many, many years make them legal?
No,
No,
Okay.
In other words, your grandfather,
Are
is that what
they
it is?
aware-
there's nothing to grandfather. They've always been illegal.
we've never changed the code, they've always.
Are they aware that they're in non-compliance?
No, because we never.
Well, it's a new business. And when did it, do you remember when it changed hands?
From not yet changed.
Yeah, to Hannah, right?
Yeah.
Was that like
Well,
5 years ago, maybe?
now they are.
So,
Steve's gonna lose sleep tonight.
Those, the Howard Anderson sign has been there as long as I can remember.
oh, they were way before you.
And I mean, do you go after something like that? I mean, where do you stop? Where do you start?
Well, that's why we're discussing it.
Yeah.
You know, because I have seen real estate firms, they just simply have, you know, the poster, the cut sheet in the window.
Mhm.
You know? So,
Yeah, there's a good number of real estate, where they have like the clear things kind of clapped up to the window and then they can just sleeve in and out the paper,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
And so when you walk by,
Yeah.
all that information is still there, it's just not the in-your-face lighting embedded behind.
Couldn't they just turn the light off?
But
they could.
if you think about it,
Thank you.
this is a historic district. And that's not something you would ever have seen in that kind of historic district, you know, plastered on, this is for sale, that's for sale, you know, you can rent this, you can, whatever that, it's that's why the code is the way the code is.
David made a very good point. David, make your point again, please.
Can't they just turn the light off?
It's still illegal.
Why?
Why?
Because it's not a permitted sign.
Oh, because it's still a sign in the
I'm
window.
sorry, it's a sign that's not permitted by code,
It's a sign in the window.
signage,
Is it a sign or is it an
it's
advertisement?
a sign, anything, it fits within the definition of the sign that I just read.
Which is to say that each one individually
Wow.
would have to be approved.
Yeah, that would require a variance probably,
Yeah.
at some point.
Well, no, but I,
Okay, to me, I mean, it's up to you however you wanna do this, but you
Exactly.
know, you're gonna go through, then anything that's readable with letters on it is illegal.
no, it's like, how far do we take this? In other words, look at their business, they have to show people properties. Do we,
How much?
but there's also real estate businesses, as we've just said before, that simply as Dave Marshall said,
Is those light up advertisement and the realty company hurting anything in the village or no?
Well, but then
hang on,
the business on the other side
wrong
would say,
question. Go ahead, no, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, then the person across the street would say, well, wait a second,
Precedent.
why is my
Precedent.
lit up sign
No.
different from this lit up sign?
Then I guess he could reply and put lights down and out.
Okay, so here's, let me pose this to the board. They're a real estate business, they want to show people properties when they walk by. The question may be, you know, the lighting is already illegal, we know that, it doesn't comply with code. The question really is, it's a real estate business that wants to show their properties. Does Mitchell Pearson do that? No, you know, in other words,
It's not a requirement,
well,
theoretically.
so do we say you can't have it lit, but you can still put your photographs in the window? Do we revamp the code to say, I don't know, I'm throwing this
Yes.
out.
If you wanted to do that, you would have to draft a code which says other than, real estate businesses, which may be
Mhm.
permitted to put
X number or something.
representations of their properties in the window, no other signs are permitted in the district other than.
Why can't you go in the real estate business and look at a book?
Well, that's what they do, like Mitchell.
You're just coming up with that.
Well, no, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
telling you
talking
that if you wanted to do that.
No, I get it, I get it.
Yeah,
Okay, so now, okay, so we went from light up to signs completely, right? I see those, I see those as two different things. The light up thing seems to be an easier first step. The signs in the windows, how about people that put up the plant sale signs, like the Village Collier's Coffee? They have a number of signs of community events they have stuck in their window. Are those not allowed?
that's correct.
Okay, that's gonna be crazy. I don't know how we're gonna be able to
It
do
doesn't-
that.
No, we enable it in the code if we want to do it. That's why we have the discussion.
Step backwards to
Yeah.
where, what we are all about.
Yeah.
Which is a historic village. And that's where this sign code came from.
Mhm.
How much litter do you want in your storefronts?
So do we get the HPB involved?
Right.
Only if you decide,
If it's a historic element that's driving this code.
No, they already involved for the signage for the business.
They always review signs.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
That's
so
That's different.
signs
But
from
we
the
create the
HPB,
code.
they go to Steve. And they are permitted by code and then they get the HPB.
Right.
So nobody has ever or can ever come to the HPB to get these real estate or community event signs approved because they're not legal signs.
Right.
But the other side of that is like community event things are kind of they're discrete events. They're only up for a little bit, and then they come down,
Right,
so.
they're still,
But
So the point is, we have a code that exists that was clearly written to avoid the historic nature of our village changing too much. But we see it
But we-
clearly
we
is
have
not
practical
usable from a
issues.
practical
it
standpoint.
was really written to avoid eye pollution at the street level.
Sure.
Okay.
But we have practical issues now because of where we are.
I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you.
Why?
Understood. Part of the discussion, yes, Dorothea.
When couldn't you, I know, put in the code a certain amount of window coverage that is allowed by this type of signage?
We could.
We certainly
We
could.
do it.
Absolutely.
And that might limit the amount of that you have.
We certainly could do that, and we could also say if it's a community events are allowed and the signs go up. It's like you can't, for elections, you're going to put a sign up a certain number of days ahead or weeks. Maybe the community event signs can be up for, I don't know, 5 days. We could always do that.
So it sounds like going back to Lisa's original point with the lit signs.
Mhm.
We can still do that. The problem is on the real estate side, they have the lit boxes, at least on Main, so you would have to, I don't know, I guess, turn those off. But then from at changing the code standpoint as well.
Or sign, right.
Community, as it relates to the definition of sign, but then some sort of carve outs.
Mhm.
That community
Mhm.
event flyers and whatever the definition of that is, you would have some term or something, or that.
Right.
You could allow them for a term, and then also, do we want to carve out real estate sales, real estate agents in terms of their ability to put properties,
Mhm.
descriptions and photos in their windows?
I think trustee Lindberg is correct. If you're gonna change this code, I would go to the HPB to get a view of what they
Mhm.
think about
Mhm.
the proposed changes.
And I'm also thinking, like Red Barn real estate never has anything up. So I'm trying to think of other real estate.
Redfin's down there.
Can I jump in for a second?
Pardon me?
Redfin is down in Shane Place Real Estate.
Red
But they,
Barn,
Red Barn, yeah.
Yeah,
and they don't put anything out, is what I'm saying. No, I mean, I know the owner, so
may I?
the only one is Hannah, yeah.
So this is in our sign code in 68.6. Following signs are permitted without a permit in all districts. Signs denoting that property is for sale, lease, or rental of the premises upon which the sign is located. Is that property?
That's for a house,
Yes.
like if there's
Okay.
a for sale.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exactly, it
Yeah.
says signs noting that property. Not that property, it says that property is for sale.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Well, if,
Quote unquote.
if.
Interesting.
If that was the reading, then you would have left.
Oh, you
out-
are
No,
sly.
no, you would have left out that.
No, it's not
No.
two that, it's just one. So signs denoting that
Just
property
the
is for sale.
fact that property is for
Yeah.
sale.
It can't be, it can't be read that way.
Oh, that was close, though.
It made sense.
That was close.
We could read it though, like
You
that.
have to read-
Would have pulled up a court of law.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
So do you rely on a public hearing once you created this new sign code, or do you get input ahead of time? Because you've got all different kinds of businesses here in the village.
Yeah.
And I can just hear in a public hearing, what about me, what about?
Oh,
me?
yeah,
How
you're gonna
about
hear
Oh, yeah.
this?
Well, why wouldn't we put it on the agenda to have people come in and talk about it? Why not? We have a lot of business owners, the chamber would be interested in that, you know, I mean, why not? Why
To
would?
John's point, it is very helpful though, to get all that out.
Yeah.
Early,
Yeah,
so that before we start putting pen to paper or Jeff
Yeah.
having to spend countless hours doing this, at least we know what the.
But to be
problem-
honest with you, no business is gonna come in here and say, yes, please restrict all my ability to advertise, right? No one's gonna come in here and say
No,
that.
no, no,
You know,
no,
we're gonna hear backlash about.
well,
us
it's
being
also
too restrictive.
residents,
Yeah.
and, you know, it's our
We're gonna
community.
hear, we're not gonna hear anything positive, let's just put it that way.
Well, but
You know,
you
I
could
I don't think so.
don't know.
still.
Not from a business.
Trustee Lindbeck's thoughts. Say, hey, HPV, what do you think of this code?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
What do
Decipher
you
the-
think of the current code?
Current code.
Yeah,
How do you decipher the
can
current
you
code?
please
Is
weigh
that
in, give us some
Yeah,
thoughts?
how do you think this fits in with a historic, they may say, oh. But, you know, there appears that there's no
Yeah.
resources left if his ship was gone, so I don't know quite who was.
Well, they're not quite gone yet, but
But,
they're really in jeopardy, seriously.
you know, I mean.
So again, can we
you
go,
Ask them, but I think that they would say the same thing, it's appropriate because it eliminates sign pollution. You know, storefronts are supposed to be clear, so you can see into the storefront.
And yet our code doesn't allow projecting signs.
Right.
When you go to
Right. and
places
people
like Skinny
complain.
Atlas, and they have beautiful
I
projectors.
took a whole bunch of pictures, I'm gonna send them to you guys, like,
I think-
they're adorable, these
People
historic
complain about
signs.
that here.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
my thing. Let's correct for the lighting.
yeah, that's one
Now,
thing.
Let me keep it
That's
simple.
easy.
The little bulb, blue and red lighting that says open or whatever, let's
Yes.
reinforce the language in a
That's
way where Steve, you can say, hey, those open signs, you need to have something a little more standard. Okay, fine.
And,
Perhaps.
It can't be
you
lit up.
and,
address
well, and open and closed
real
signs too.
Yeah, I would just.
Yeah.
Do the low hanging.
That's an
Right.
easy.
Low hanging fruit.
Right, that's
We
an
all,
easy
I
one.
mean, I'm hearing from the board that. The ones in favor.
Yeah,
So I say we hit that up, and I would say let's give a little motion for Jeff to write that up. But I think the second thing that we do is we write a letter to the HPV and say, we're gonna review sign code. Can you consider the current sign code and offer your thoughts and opinions and perspectives?
Are we just limiting it to sign code?
Well,
that's what's in front of us
Well,
right
yeah.
now. I'm just saying, you know, this is something that we know, I mean, we could go down a huge rabbit hole.
Well, no, I mean, I would love, there are other aspects of the zoning code I would love to hear from them as well. But that's obviously something that we as a board need to
yeah,
do.
so zoning, here we're just hitting the.
Yeah, exactly.
HPV,
Yep.
One project at a
And
time.
it's under their purview and it's a good thing for them. to
I
do.
like the idea of perpendicular
Yeah.
signage, but if you're gonna start having stuff come out of the building, right, and implement that, we have to address TP signage, we have to address.
Banners.
Ban, like,
Well,
just
banners are
all
already,
sorts of general things, right? Temporary, permanent, all that, but I think we just start with asking the HPV for their opinions.
So what are we asking them? Asking them to take a look at our current sign code
Yeah,
and give us their perspective.
I would give them the background of what we're looking
Yeah.
at and why we're looking at it.
Because otherwise.
Okay,
no
I mean, I
idea
think they have to have some context
Yeah.
of why the board is, you know, like, this is what we're looking at. We'd like you to weigh in and take a look at this and.
And we can explicitly say, we're running into the issue of, you know, well, illuminated signs over here, but then also certain real estate entities having boxes that are.
I don't even know if we need to lead them, we just have to say, given our code,
Whatever you wanna do is
No,
fine.
I'm
I'm
fine.
good.
Yeah.
I'm,
Have it open.
no dog in the fight, no dog at all.
Would be there.
that's right. And I think it's from the perspective of, as a historical village, is our sign code achieving the goals and objectives that we have in our comprehensive plan.
Yep.
I just feel like-
Okay, so the action item coming out of this then, we're directing Jeff,
And with regard to the open signs, Stephen Alpert has together and put some proposed.
yeah, open and
dimensions.
closed and business hours.
Proposed dimension.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, yeah, what do
so
you think, Steve?
If little more complicated than that, you know, because you got one of those on here that says it's a little sign window said accepting new clients. Yoplait has a round circle on the window. The hairdresser that has the red kid
You're right.
sign has covered the whole front of the building. These were here prior to me. I've always made it a thing that I didn't go after things that were here before I came.
Well, you're seeing it as
I
pre-existing.
don't,
You know what I mean?
I don't think we're asking, I mean, I don't think the board is asking you to do that. What you and I are gonna work on is a very, very limited little deal. And that's
All right, that's fine.
lighting.
We're not there yet,
Yeah.
if we are at all,
And what kind of open signs are normal.
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Yeah, we're starting small, low
Yeah.
hanging fruit.
They make a size on their open sign that they have one like this and.
Yeah, as long as it's not lit up and flashing and all that other stuff, yeah.
There we go.
Mayor, were you going to write the letter to the HPP? Would our liaison do that?
Oh, why don't you write the letter, draft the letter and send it to me and Dorothea, how's that?
So we need a motion?
Yes.
Yeah, to authorize me to modify
Yeah, we
the
have to
sign
authorize.
code with regard to lighting, lit signs and, or lighted signs. And, open signs, open close signs.
And hours,
What's that?
and hours.
Right.
What is hours?
Hours of
Right.
operation.
Okay, so.
I was gonna say, yeah.
What he said.
Shit,
What he said.
so
Yeah, what he said.
Second.
What this guy said.
Hey, John seconded. We're getting through this.
Okay, are we ready for a
Yeah,
vote?
I think we should be.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Hi.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Lindbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer. Motion passes.
Okay, let's see, next up, well, we already did now that we're off, the proclamations off, because we already did that. Okay, so building inspectors report.
I apologize, I came in late on Friday. I didn't make the packet, probably my mistake, but in either way, I didn't have time to get an update out. So I did put the report after that.
Yeah, we have copies of it, so if there's any questions for Steve. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even when the village has been quiet, you're still hopping. You know, I mean, it just, wow, yeah.
I know Lisa had a question about the bar, they had the health department in there. They got
What?
food,
Sorry?
they got
The
a
bar.
grill,
Oh, okay.
They got a grill, they're serving hamburgers, hot dogs, outdoors. Anything they can put on the grill, they have a menu.
Great.
Good.
That's on the bar now, they have menus placed all throughout, so.
Great, so
Okay.
we're according to code, that's all I care about.
Yeah, they're in compliance, they're in compliance.
Teeth pulling and
Yeah.
discussions, but they are within the code.
Okay, so they are in compliance with the permit.
Do they have a hood for the grill?
Pardon?
Do they have a hood for the grill?
It's an outdoor grill.
Oh.
And it was passed by the health department, am I
Yes.
correct? Okay, so they have received all their.
And I got an internal hot dog roll.
They have the little roll, oh, I love those little rolls.
See another question, did we ever get information about the liquor being served at the noodle place? Did we ever find out about
Pardon?
the liquor license from the noodle place? Did we ever hear anything more about that?
No,
Is it-
I mean.
It was brought to my attention that the noodle place, which I love, which is amazing, has a full bar.
Yeah.
And I just don't remember that being presented to us when we were going through the permitting for that,
Never got it, so.
and I didn't know the
Usually,
process. how
usually
that
the
works.
state would ask me to grant
The
that.
only way that's ever presented to the board is via the,
New York State Liquor
Yeah.
Authority.
the notice to the municipality. It's really not part of the permitting process, it's the notice to the municipality that's going on.
Yeah, normally we get a paper request for information and the board's opinion, the village's opinion, and we never saw them to that place. But I know.
Do we know they have a liquor license?
Pardon?
Oh, yeah, they're serving.
That's the question.
Yeah, we don't
Do
know.
they have one?
Yeah, they have.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We checked it.
They check liquor store and they do have a legal license.
And it would be posted in the establishment in public view
So
as
therefore,
required by law.
so when we're going through the permitting process, isn't that information that we should have known that they're having a full bar? I mean. isn't it-
No.
We, it doesn't
I can
matter?
I can tell you this, we,
I mean,
sorry,
respectfully, it's only the business of the liquor.
it's the state. We don't regulate it.
Because somebody had made a mention that we had some regulations says that full bars can only be served within a certain distance of a church and then of a school.
That's all liquor.
Okay,
That's
so
all.
that's
Yep.
their responsibility, to make sure.
Not us.
But we should have gotten a municipal
And we
notification
should, and
form.
that was the state.
So that we could say to them, hey, did you know that? You know, there's a church and there's a school and there's whatever.
Actually, I believe that's on the application that they're required to fill out for the license.
Right.
I'm almost positive of that they have to identify.
Well, I'm sure they do, but some, you know, if they didn't.
Well, here we are, but I can tell you.
If they didn't, you know, I mean, it's investigated, so, yeah.
Oh, yes, Mayor. I can tell you that we have had permits issued and then they've just gone after the fact and gotten like a wine and beer or gotten something,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, in other words. So there, you know, I can think of a number of places that have done that actually. So,
And where, I would.
yeah, no, we're not involved in that end of it, really. Yeah, Steve?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, please report, yeah. sorry.
Typically, these things come in, we get the notice, they come to me and I present I send them out to the board, so you receive the notification.
Yeah.
We did not receive a notification on that. That is the standard practice.
So it was on the state.
It's totally, somebody did not get it
Yeah.
to me. But their application, as I understand, there's something on it that's different than normal, so I don't know if it's gone through the full steps.
I think that they have, I know that they hold liquor licenses, what, they have 3 other locations, Steve? They have a number of other locations,
Yes, they're
4 total,
Yeah.
and I believe they all have
Yeah.
liquor licenses,
Yeah.
so I don't know
It
You
was
know.
strange, so
if that
I
kind
don't
of.
know if that contributed, but we did not receive a notice and it didn't go through.
Yeah, it's a curiosity.
I have a question for Steve. It's kind of a loaded question, it doesn't have to be loaded, but can you give us some input as to what's happening at 75 Monroe? People are asking me all the time, and I'm like,
They're building.
The building.
I mean, anything like, any glitches, anything that you've had any problems with? I mean, are they on time, on their timeline? I mean,
It-
you don't know.
I know nothing.
Well, you know, and John, we've met with them and, you know,
I
things are on schedule for them, I
met
guess.
with, Mark IV last week, their attorney, Steve DiMarzo. Our attorney was on the phone and talked about the inspection process because the village is not getting what they need from Mark IV. They gave us a portion of the settlement agreement that was reached with the village, and only a portion of it. And I sent them an email and I got the full version of it today. And it's my opinion that that is one of the most poorly crafted documents I've ever read in my life. The terms and the conditions of that settlement agreement really hinder the village from getting the information that they need in a timely basis. Pretty much tied to, this is what you're going to get and this is when you're going to get it. And
Nonetheless, we really, I mean, you've really been reaching out and I think you've
Yeah, I-
got a
I
good
had
rapport
another
and they've
discussion.
been far more forthcoming about things as well. So I think thank you for getting it back on track. Appreciate
they're
that.
willing to work with us,
Mhm.
and now we've just got to make sure. that they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, so I think, you know, there's a certain level of, you know, reestablishing a rapport there and some trust with them. So appreciate that follow-up. Yep. Anything else for Steve?
I've got a member item that Steve could probably help with or be part of. I've got a concern about the condition of Sutherland Street. I know it's going to be reworked in the future. But right now, we've got several projects that are seriously impacting the condition of that road. You've got the schools project over there at Sutherland, you've got heavy trucks and equipment. You've got the Monroe County Water Authority running a water main down there. There's an awful lot of truck traffic. In my last project with the Brighton School District, we had to actually measure a road and have visual conditions created. And at the end of that project, we were responsible for repaving that road. And right now, Sutherland Street's getting beat up. So I know we've got a plan in the future to pave it.
Mhm.
But I don't think that lets the school district, the county water authority, and anybody else that's using it off the hook for the condition of it.
Mhm. Unfortunately, the condition was pretty bad even before the construction started, but there was a meeting. I wish Scott Harder was online because he could really address a lot of this. He's really been,
I talked to him about this
Okay.
before we.
okay, oh, that's great then. Okay,
What's the task?
so what would you like to see?
I think the party should be put on notice that
Mhm.
you're tearing up our road.
The school district has been made very aware of that. The temporary road that they put in, they said is only temporary, will not be permanent. And they will repair and restore the right of way in the village and the curb.
Do they pay that fully?
Pardon me,
Who pays for the repair?
they do.
Okay.
They went on our property and went through our curb.
Make sure there's no.
Yeah, no, that's on them.
If it's been addressed, that's fine. I don't want to be holding the bag when everybody goes.
Yeah,
away.
I've understood, yeah, for sure. And, you know, the water authority is the water authority, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, but, you know, they're on notice too, we've all sat down.
As long as they're all on notice and they've acknowledged it and we've got.
Oh, yeah.
acknowledgements.
Yeah,
Okay.
not with Mike here.
We don't have any right of it, none those for that curb cut or anything, we have no fallback.
Well, what they're doing is they're, you know, the superintendent of the district is following up with us and getting us all that information and circling back with you. That should be happening. And frankly, I'm scheduled to follow up with him on Wednesday. Oh, that's tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's in my call list. Yeah. Anything else?
That's
for
all I
me?
got for
Anything
No.
else? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
take care. You too. Okay. Next up, well, DPW. Yeah,
Everybody's working down
Yeah.
there, it's been busy,
it's been hot.
they've been hot.
But they've been hanging tough. You know, Gatorade.
Well, the village looks beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of people have really been commenting. They've been really hanging.
Everybody is jumping.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job, and our two new hires have worked out. And also Peter Bessie, who came back, he started again last week, and we're
He's
happy to
thrilled
have
to be
him.
back.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
be happy.
he's thrilled,
Yeah.
yep, he's so glad to be back. Back in the village family. Okay, treasurer's report, please.
You need me to stick around with, or are there member items that involve?
Yeah, any member items for Jeff, because we could cover them before we release them to the universe.
Do we have to do anything with the DPW?
We're gonna have an executive session at the end for a human resource
Okay.
matter.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
have Jeff, but
No,
Real quick, the notice of claim. You won't
Oh.
be addressing any of that.
Well, I can address what.
Does
what
the
I
board
have.
need to talk about that in the executive?
oh, we
session?
will need you for that session to talk about a notice of claim.
Claim.
Let me just do this.
Okay,
We did receive a notice of claim. All of those notices of claim go to our insurance agent.
Yep.
To be forwarded on to our insurance company, who will assign counsel for it.
okay, so
So I will have no involvement in that
sewer insurance company, yeah.
notice of claim. Yeah, it's like any, like. Somebody's gotten hurt on the canal,
Yeah.
and say that's our fault, because there's a hole. We file a notice of claim, we send that along to the insurance company, and they assign counsel to handle
And Dorothea in session maybe to speak to
I
that.
can speak
Okay.
to it, I just wanted to make sure if you had questions.
Yeah.
it. It's just the questions is the process, but I don't ever get involved
No,
in
you haven't.
the relative merits of it, if there are any relative.
All right. Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, I mean, I'll stick around for the executive session, or, yeah, if you want me to.
I think we're good. I mean, I think, because you were the one really dealing with the insurance company, people have questions, so, we can be, if there's greater detail to go in. It should be in session.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great day.
Yeah, appreciate your help this evening. Okay, treasurers.
Yep, we have two bill pays, one is still at this time of year, we're still reflecting from the previous budget year, and we now have new bills for the new budget year, so you have two different bundles there. I need authorization for both to go ahead and get them paid, unless there's any questions.
Or else a motion.
Anything out of the ordinary?
No, typically, the normal stuff I expect to come in at year end, there'll be a little more.
Kind of wrapping up from last year.
We're getting to the end, we'll be, it's all services and anything ordered in May. Some things, it's okay if it comes in afterwards, it's on a PO, but anything we need to ship, we'll make those appropriate entries. We're just trying to get it all finalized.
Motion to approve, both bill pays as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Coe,
Hi,
trustee Linda,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion passes. Okay, real quick, I brought to the board, I said I was gonna do May financial report, you must have been having a brain glitch, there's no way I'm ready for a May financial report. I can give you a little highlights, I kind of have I have the bank reckoning done portion. There's just the additional year-end entries that have to be done. And those, I gotta work with the county auditor. We have to bill sewer. Because even though we're billing sewer in June, early July, it reflects back to May. So it has to go in for those sewer accounts. So it's a kind of backwards process, but it's the usage of the sewer during that time frame, that budget year. So there's a lot of those entries that need to be done. But the good news right now, and I met with trustee Wilkes today, we brought in more than our expected revenue so far. We have expended less than we budgeted to expend. After we get all the numbers, we will have surplus. I'm gonna throw a guess out there, and it's a guess, please don't hold me to it. I'm hoping to be closer to 300,000, maybe less of surplus.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, but I'm again waiting on final numbers and we have to roll it in. Sewer is still waiting for its billing, so I don't have a good guess on that yet. Okay, so
Baby gets new shoes.
there will be budget transfers, there always is in May, and it's a huge list, just
Yeah.
because the way it falls out. So with expending. Okay, any questions on that so far?
Thanks for,
It's coming.
there's been a few things happening, so.
I'm gonna say, you've had a week.
I had a
We've
week.
had a week and it's only Tuesday.
Yes, I'd sit and cry, but that would take too much time. The additional notice, the board had me go ahead and move forward with the bond, so our bond was put out for bidding. When its sale date is July 1st, we hope to close around July 15th, so we'll get the money probably a week after that, so that process has started. So, all good stuff. Anybody would like to see the bond?
Oh, it's great reading.
I literally asked for a copy of it. I said, I'm so excited to read. I'm that weird guy who is excited to read that.
You're all right.
Okay. Fun stuff. Yeah, I glanced through and make sure it made sense to me and then prove it. The additional, we had our pre-construction for the front porch. When is today? Monday. There's contracts to go ahead for me to sign to move it forward. The contractor is already signed. Beryl put these together. It's reflective of the bid documents, so the board can go ahead and authorize that. They anticipate starting the construction work mid-July. Extra time. Closings.
This is.
Yes, this is what I sent out yesterday. I should have anticipated the contract for that.
Quickly reviewed by our engineer.
Yeah, it's Beryl, through the architect and their engineers. They put the bid together, they did all the work as the board requested.
You just need a motion to approve.
Yes, I need a motion to approve it and for me to sign it.
Make a motion for you to approve and for you to sign. Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Motion passes.
How about me?
Mayor Palmer.
Oh, aye.
Aye, now it really passed.
Okay,
Just to give you an update, we have a pre-construction for Southland Wood tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah.
So that is moving forward as anticipated, so. And we'll have, as soon as we have more construction dates and all that, we'll definitely put the village on notice. But we have.
Yeah, we'll be sending
all
out
the entities, they,
Information to residents and letting everybody know, sort of as it's gonna progress.
so the property on South and Wood, on the corner of the Black House, with the new residents that have just moved in not too long ago. They just were approved for a big construction project on doing their renovation of a garage and addition, and do they know that they're gonna have a lot of trouble getting people and things in and out?
I
wonder if
can't
we should
answer that.
make a-
We'll be notifying residents,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
make sure there'll be flyers. and different
Sending out, yeah,
Yeah.
we're notifying everybody.
That might hit them right at the same time, so they should probably
Well,
know.
But
That's where we are,
Yeah,
this has
we
been
gotta
a
get-
project
we gotta get
initiated
it going now.
Yeah,
more than
no, no, I
years
know.
ago.
No,
Yeah,
but
I know, I would.
as soon as I get dates and stuff and we can notify
Yeah.
residents, we will definitely do
The
that.
only reason why I know that, because I was at the HTV when they.
Yeah,
approved,
I'm
so.
unaware of that
Yeah.
one, but we'll make sure all the residents are aware of what construction dates we can release and we
Okay.
know,
Mhm.
once we get some information's kind of set in stone
Okay,
to say, but.
I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Let's see, we discussed the week, I think that's everything.
Maybe just an update on really, we're transitioning our server and what has been
Oh.
going on. It has not been a smooth cutover in the least, so.
No, it hasn't been a smooth cut
Yeah.
over. The board approved us moving our emails, moving the server with a new IT company. And we have a notice up on our website. We sent a notice through constant contact to the public and we noted that, I would love to say I'm receiving every email. I can't guarantee that. right
We let
now.
people know there may be some glitches.
There may be some
Yeah.
glitches, so if you don't hear from the office or you don't see something, if you emailed us or whatever, call us. And hopefully the phone system don't go down.
Yeah.
They're still working on it. We made progress today. It's dealing with both companies, and getting everybody the data where it needs to be.
Is any of the holdup on the previous IT side in terms of, because I know the database of existing.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay,
I'll just simply say
yes,
yes.
and we can have an offline discussion.
Yes, because
with
it's
much greater
performance of
detail rather than,
a vendor.
going
so
through
I don't
this.
wanna do it publicly.
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But there is hope. My understanding, we're gonna try to transition the server.
they're transitioning it right now.
Well, they're replicating the soup.
Oh, this is the replicating part.
They're replicating our server.
Because that was to my point.
Yeah.
When that
Yes.
occur, like,
We're
because,
hoping
we
to
are.
transfer the server this week.
okay,
Yeah.
Okay? I'm really hoping. I'm very nervous about the transitioning of the server, so if they feel there's gonna be simply any
Right.
glitches.
And we're gonna be putting out another bulletin about this, but suffice to say, why don't we address some of this offline?
Yes,
I think, because we are gonna be having a session. And I think it may be more appropriate for us to, I want you to provide greater detail. I
Yeah.
think that'd be helpful for everybody.
be patient with us. We're having IT
Mhm.
issues. We're doing the best we can.
so
Yeah.
residents call in.
Call in.
Yeah, when in doubt,
Call
just
in,
pick up the
Make
phone.
sure you send it .gov.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
When in
and
doubt.
that's village website, we're now .gov, or village emails are now .gov. And it's just not village of Pittsburgh.gov, it's village of Pittsburgh NY.gov.
A lot of people go into your website's, it's not working.
Mhm.
You're missing the NY.
Yep, we'll put it again, and it's been out in other bulletins, we'll put it out again. Yeah.
Was there any
We gotta
other
keep
questions
reinforcing.
for me on any of this?
Okay, minutes. Add a minutes,
Yes, and we have more coming.
but no, this is great. So what's the first up is what, April 2nd?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions? Is there a motion?
As of April 2nd, 2025. Do I have a second?
I heard a second, I heard a little peep down there.
It's only gonna be
It's
the
on.
mayor.
Yeah, so
For the
three,
next one.
Sullivan, Marshall.
Yeah.
The next one.
So
roll call.
trustee Coe,
Oh, hi. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
thought you might-
I know.
Okay, got it.
got it, trustee Marshall, Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next up, we have April 8th.
Everybody can work.
Oh, we have the whole group here.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up, April 22nd.
I have a question on page 5, the member items, I did not receive that email from trustee Cove, I got that from the resident.
Can you identify where it is on the? page?
Member
I
item.
see it.
When remember item, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, John. Okay,
Got it.
so amended?
Then I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Yep, we'll correct it.
Need a second.
okay, roll call, please. Come on, we can pump it up here.
Reversing names, hold on. Okay, trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Coe.
Abstain, I was in Florida.
Oh. We have you
That's
absent.
right.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. Ta-da. Next up, member items.
None.
Okay,
I have just a quick, just run through of some action items in the past that we had talked about. I wanted to see where we are in the planning. Dave had talked about doing a business roundtable. Have we tried to get any kind of dates set to bring some businesses in? And can we think about doing that in the near future?
I'm gonna say I passed that on to Alexandria. I'll have to follow up with her where we stand on that.
yeah, yeah, it definitely was in her court. She had been out. And also I think, it's sort of the season for business owners. We may want to do it in September.
Yeah, just so maybe to get
Just to
some
get it
dates
going.
together or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
We
Yeah.
also talked about maybe a discussion, or charrette on overlay districts and rezoning
Zoning.
and stuff like that. Are we gonna maybe think about that in September as well?
Yeah, I would definitely do it in the fall
Like
when we
that.
get more input.
I would generally say we could probably hash out stuff for the fall and just set a workshop aside for the 5 of us, just to say, okay, what do we really want to accomplish?
Oh, yeah, for all, yeah, but I'm
Yes,
just saying,
right.
if we do a larger,
If we do a larger.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
but we definitely can do
figure
an
out-
internal.
So we could set some specific.
Why don't we have an internal workshop set up for the board?
When would you like that?
Why don't we have Alexandria poll for dates for people, because people have vacation, it's summer, so we want to make sure we can.
And then the only other thing is, I've had 2 meetings with the Bicentennial Canal Committee, which is well represented, and we're doing some really great stuff. So I will give you some more updates. But please hold your September 27th and 28th weekend here in the village. We're gonna have some great stuff going on. I just received this, so we're all gonna see this at the same time from the Canal Corps. Look at this. This is the official, thanks, David. I will get that. Yeah, the New York State Canal flag for the bicentennial. Because we're gonna have a color guard presentation at the event on Sunday, and Mr. Mason suggested that we get some kind of flag to.
That's a biggie.
So, yeah, so that just brought it to us, yeah, cool. So lots of really exciting things. We're got a really creative group, so more to come. That's all I have.
If I could suggest that maybe, what you're having your 3rd meeting,
Say that again?
you're having your 3rd meeting, maybe
Yes.
if you can just do a quick little write-up for the board, just to.
Say what's going
Yeah,
on?
keep us in the loop. I think that'd be kind of great.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, remember, right?
Nope.
Oh.
The
wow.
board gasped in unison. I know, poor Dave, we give him such a hard time.
So warm now, I couldn't.
Oh, my goodness.
Scatterbrain right now.
Yeah, if it's over 90 degrees, we have no member items from Dave Marshall. Okay. Note about heat waves. Okay, I don't think I really have any either, because I loop a little. Okay, so I make a motion that we go into an executive session for the purpose of discussing matter.
I second. Sorry, John.
Everybody's. Okay, trustee Marshall.
Yeah.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Yep, give you a minute here to pause. Stand and down.
Okay,
I make a motion, we leave executive session.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, is there a motion, trustee Lindbeck?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that the village hire Jason Cernus as the provisional DPW superintendent at a salary annually of $78,000, and that's to include 3 weeks vacation.
Second.
Okay, we have a second.
Do we need to amend it to include all the normal hiring things, drug tests, that sort of stuff?
It's up to the board.
Up to the board, yeah, I mean, he's,
So I'll amend my motion to include all of the standard hiring procedures, medical, handbook, everything that the village requires for employment.
The background check and physical.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Trustee Wilks.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Trustee Wilks.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody keep cool. Hot out there.
Got a break.
There's a